Never unite with things that I don't agree with. There's things that I love, and then there's things that I hate. On every side, and there's nobody's perfect. Okay, this isn't Garden of Eden. Um, but they want this illusion, like the Miss Blonde was saying to me. You're in Hebrew when when I brought the conversation back up yesterday. You're representing us as defeated, or something like that. Like you're this sense of defeat, and that's why you shouldn't say these things. What do you mean? I'm not saying anything about my opinion. We're talking about the truth. We're talking about what's being stated in the news. When you start censoring the truth, what happens is you become less credible to people. More people would probably come to the Israeli side or support this if all the facts were on the table and they could fully understand the big picture. Maybe people would understand your side more. But people still deserve the right to fucking know. I wouldn't have been a part of the whole anti-vaccine thing, like the medical consent or informed choice movement. It would make me a hypocrite. Because how can I say, yeah, everybody should know every fucking thing that goes in, sorry, bad word, everything that goes into a vaccine before they make a decision on what they believe or how they believe it, either way. But I'm going to say, well, when it comes to politics, actually, I'm going to paint a pretty picture for you to only agree with me. That's hypocrisy. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it's very frustrating because I'm used to everyone that I mostly agree with just tell me how it is, give me answers to my questions, push back wherever you want. I'm not worried about that. But it's every time anything even close, anything, even if it's small, comes up, it's like a battle. And I don't
Yeah.
think it should be that way.
And then we start talking about names of cities and people. It like just completely off subject, right? Or like things that are not relevant. I don't know what just happened now about we were talking about this and it became about the ultra orthodox. I was like, we weren't even talking about the ultra orthodox. Like, why are we going in this direction? Why is it veering so off course? The point is this is what's being stated. There are issues that exist. And yeah, a ceasefire would do good for Israel. Be honest. Oh, Jackie's here. That's it. Be honest. Yes. Why? Because it would prove what you're saying is right. That if Trump did broker a ceasefire, it would benefit us. It would benefit the people. It would get things more organized, no matter what direction we're going in.
Do you
And
think deep?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
No,
No,
and
go ahead.
my final point is, and maybe to people who don't live in America and don't understand the necessity and the direct impact it has on our values, on who becomes the next president. It's not some, oh, I guess we'll figure it out. We'll survive if a Democrat wins. Like, my biggest party line issues, the most important, are the vaccines and abortion. Okay? If a freaking Democrat comes in and tries to rattle shit up again in those spheres that we've made so much progress after, you know, 20, 30 years of just decline, we finally made huge steps forward for medical freedom and against abortion. Do you know how fucking devastated I would be? Devastated if a Democrat came back into power and undid, what's been done.
I get that.
It would literally these are again my top three: abortion, vaccines, Israel. If anything changes for the especially for the vaccines and for AB, oh, I'm gonna be pissed. So pissed. That's child murder.
I
Mm-mm.
made the statement earlier to Amir that you will never, Israel will never have this kind of military buildup ever again. You will never have it. You will never have such a pro-Israel administration from top to bottom ever again.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first statement I made, and the second statement I made is: do you think that Trump is disappointed that these people did not rise up, take back their government, and we're here on day 26, 27, whatever it is, and he's celebrating 8 ships coming through when normally it's 130 every day?
Hmm.
If that doesn't prove to you, not you, Bianca, but just in general, if that
Yeah.
doesn't prove to you that Trump needs a deal more than the other side,
Hmm.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that the whole, remember that advisor Robert Pape that I showed, that everybody was like, oh, he's a lefty, predicted, and mind you, obviously, because he's been doing this war simulation for 20 years. I don't care if he's a lefty or what, he was right. He said the deal that was on the table before we went into Iran was better than the Obama deal. And now, if a deal happens, it's going to be worse. And look at that. Look at where we're seated now. That a
I
surprise?
just want to point out Jackie is talking shit on Lolly. Is Lolly even here?
Yeah, she is. I don't know, Jackie. I know you I'm a Latino, so it hits a little different, boo.
Excuse you, Dawood. I'm not talking shit. I'm
No, it
actually,
said no. I read something that was. I thought maybe I misread it. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
What
told her
happened?
I don't think she's racist. I just think she's old and a little crazy. Because everyone keeps saying she's racist, but I don't think she's racist. I just think she's old.
Didn't she send the Mexicans somewhere to somewhere in the Southern
Good. Send
California?
them. Send the illegal Mexicans. Get the fuck out of
No,
America.
what did she to papaya picada? What did she say?
Yeah,
That was
Papaya's a troll though. I remember Papaya like one time came for me when I wasn't even talking about him. Yeah, no, she's not a racist. You guys don't know the meaning of racism anymore. It's annoying.
Okay.
It's annoying.
well, how do you know he's even Mexican? How do you know he's not legal?
No, I mean he's
Well,
probably
Mexicans can be legal.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, he's probably legal. He's just a troll. I mean, I don't mind
All
I
him.
right,
think
hold
that
on one
guy
second.
yesterday was legal.
Hold on. Apple, what do you got?
I basically came up while you were talking about what's good for the U.S. as far as the war in the Middle East right now.
Yeah, give it to me, sir.
I think it's something that we have to do, and it's something that should have been done long ago. 6 presidents kicked this can down the road, and all they did was let them get stronger and stronger. This has to be done, or it's going to get worse.
But my friends are telling me they're getting weaker and weaker just in the last 27 days.
Who's getting weaker and weaker?
I think they mean the IRGC. I'm not 100% sure. They have I don't know. They give me confusing messages. So, what is the benefit to the United States staying in this war for another 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years? What is the benefit of it?
To finally get this done with. It's been 47 years in the making.
All right. Are you okay
Did
with
we
boots
finish
on the
Iraq?
ground?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you when there's more than one person talking.
It's okay. No problem. No problem. Jackie, go ahead. You could ask your question. Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, did we finish Afghanistan or Iraq? Like, did we do anything there? Or do we just, go in, have some fun, and get out? We haven't finished shit.
I don't think we're going in to have fun, to be very honest with you. And that's making light of the problem.
No, no, you're avoiding the fact that we went into Afghanistan and we didn't finish it. So what
That's
makes you
because we
think
had a
that?
different president.
Oh, what makes you think Iran is bigger? All right, I think there's more support for the IRGC than there was the Taliban. What makes you think that we're gonna be able? Like, what do you mean by finish it? Like nuke Iran?
No, I didn't
Uh,
say to nuke Iran. What I'm saying is for 47 years, we've been kicking the can down the road and not solving the problem. Now you
Okay, are
finally
you
have a
just hold
president.
on, hold on? Are you okay with Trump putting and you are a Trump supporter based off that statement, correct?
Yes,
Okay, will you still support Donald Trump if he wants to put 25,000 boots on the ground?
yes.
Okay, great. So sell me on why that's beneficial for America. Okay,
So that
because
we
to
don't have a
me,
nuclear weapon coming into our country.
oh, okay. So, all right, hold on one second. Yes, I do have fear mongering. Definitely, I have that written down. Anything else?
Maybe a little bit of peace in the Middle East.
Okay,
That's
and
never
how
gonna
does that
happen.
benefit, a swing voter in Michigan?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a hypothetical
It
situation
doesn't.
for a
Doesn't.
swing voter in Michigan.
Well, the majority of Americans are against boots on the ground. Do you agree there?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. If you had to provide evidence on where they support it, what would you provide?
The fact that he was elected as president.
Okay, good. Okay. Let's just start off with 50% of America is going to hate Donald Trump regardless of what he does. He could cure cancer, and the Democrats will not like that. So we're already at half the country, right? And then, so that leaves the other half, which are Trump supporters like myself and yourself. And some of them will support Trump no matter what. Some of them will support Trump if Trump lays out a clear plan and a timeline. And some are 100% against boots on the ground. Why? Because a lot of Trump's base is America only. Not America first, but America only. Did I say anything inaccurate there?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know, do you have any party line issues? What are the most important things for you politically? The top 3.
The top 3,
Yeah.
protecting this country, getting out of NATO.
And what's number 3?
I have to think about the last one.
Okay. And despite the report, what was it? ODIN, is that what it's called? Despite the biggest threats being China and Russia, you're still support the idea that it's Iran?
I would not support any deal with Iran.
No. The ODIN, the Department of Intelligence, said that the biggest threats to the United States were Russia and China.
I don't consider China a threat.
Oh my God. Okay. I understand what we're dealing with. Thank you.
Fine.
She said, I rest my case, Your Honor. All right, so what happens if Trump strikes a deal with somebody that's in the current regime, opens back, the strait is back open and gets out? Is that a win for Trump, or do you say that's still a loss?
That's still a loss.
Okay, why?
Because you cannot deal with those people. We've been in this process for 47 years. How long does it take before you start to smell the roses?
Wait, what process? What's for 47 years? You sound like
47 years is when Iran started the conflict with the United States, when they took over our embassy.
But you do realize most Americans can't even point to the Middle East on a blank map. They don't give a fuck. Don't you get that?
That doesn't change the fact.
Okay. Well, no, it reinforces my point of most Americans do not want boots on the ground, will not accept it.
Do you know?
Most Americans want to live
Let him
comfortably and they don't want to have a problem. They're very lazy, to be very honest with you.
Okay,
freedom
fair.
is not free.
You could say that Americans are lazy. You could say that they're dumb or ignorant or anything you want. But reality is most Americans are against boots on the ground.
There's
No
fine. They
way
can
around
be
it.
against it. That's why we have a free country.
I got you. And the reason why most Americans are against boots on the ground, because whenever the question is posed, why is it beneficial for America? The answers do not line up. Nobody gives a fuck about most people don't give a fuck about the Middle East, and they're more worried about gas prices, etc.
Exactly.
But
Okay.
I rest my case with your statement.
But Apple, do you know that the Chinese?
Wait, stop. How does that prove your case?
The bottom line is that nobody wants to suffer.
Answer me.
I am going to answer if you let me talk.
Tell me how my statement backs you up. Go ahead.
Are you done yet?
Anytime, Apple. Go ahead.
I asked you a question. Are you done yet?
Yes. Go ahead. Answer.
My answer is very simple. Most people don't want to have any problems in their lives. And the minute that you start talking about boots on the ground, they have this image of another long, drawn-out episode. These are mostly people who don't understand. All they think about is how it looks to them and their bank account. They don't understand that if you keep letting these people do what they're doing, you're eventually going to have to go into a war with them. And if they would have gotten nuclear weapons, You already
Wait, is this not
saw
a
that they
war?
were lying. You already saw that they were lying about their capability of their missile distances.
Are we at war right now?
I don't think this is, I would consider this a war.
Donald Trump has called it a war.
That's okay. He can call it whatever he wants. He knows more than I do.
Okay.
He's the
Okay,
one
fair
who's
enough.
there.
Sure, it
Wait,
makes
so
sense.
sending
Absolutely.
troops, sending thousands of Marines over there, that's not a war? What is it, a walk in the park? The fuck?
What is it with you and walk in a park? Everything
likes
to
to
you is a
walk. Let her
walk in a
go.
park.
Are you like short span? Because you just focus on the most oh my goodness, the most idiotic points of like what I say.
It's because you keep bringing that point up. That's why.
How old are you, sir?
75.
Hell
I
yeah.
believe it.
Okay, let's go to Josh. Josh, what's going on, Josh?
Good morning.
Okay, great. Josh, what are your thoughts on this war? I know you were up here at least once over the last 27 days. What are your thoughts on it? Where do you stand?
Yeah, it's not too crazy to me. I think that it's not the best idea to be in. I think that Iran has been a problem for a lot of time. But I don't think that having no end game in sight is a good way to go about a war. I think where it's going to be Iraq and Afghanistan all over again, unless we have a clear end in sight.
Okay, do you want regime change?
No, I don't give a shit about regime change.
All right, very good. All right, simple enough. My friend up above you, Apple, I don't. He's worried about regime change. Iranian voices, Aurora, how are you? Wait, what is she saying? We have. Oh, stop! Please be in the queue. You're not in the queue. Okay, will you stop with Santa Shaw? I'm begging you. Can you go look up the Axios article? Can you go read the New Yorker piece on the Shah? Okay. I sorry guys. You guys could come back up. I've been waiting to hear your thoughts.
Oh my gosh, I don't even think I've been up here about
I
this. I just
know.
realized.
I thought you got the vibe of how things were going in here and you avoided it. Maybe on purpose, Aurora.
Honestly, no. I don't think I've even like really seen what was going
I see.
on.
Okay.
I mean, I know
okay.
that Julian is like thrilled about the regime, even though they are literally losing, but he sends me messages all the time saying like WIRGC.
Okay, so what? Let me just start off this way, okay? Are you just as confident that Pahlavi is going to be the transitional person? Are you just as confident as you were a month ago?
Yes.
Okay, and what has happened that keeps that confidence going?
Just that the people have been calling for him the whole time. I haven't seen
Some
anyone
people, not all
abandon
people.
that. I would say a majority of people though. You can look up
You have
videos from inside and even hear them like yelling. So, I
Aurora,
mean,
beautiful.
you
Aurora,
know,
beautiful.
I think so.
Do you remember No King's protest for the Democratic Party?
Yes.
That does not mean it's 90% of our country that wants regime change or is against Trump. So
Well,
yes, if you look at videos that day, it does appear as if the Shah is popular. And just for the record, I call him Santa Shah
okay.
because I think there's a better chance of Santa Claus touching down. But isn't that a fair point though? Can you at least acknowledge that?
I mean, what like about the Shah?
About the fact that just because we see a lot of people protesting on one day does not equal 90% of the country.
Right, but we also
Okay.
don't live under, I mean, now the Democrats will tell you differently, obviously, but we do not live under a regime that is, like lynching innocent people, that, is having us run out of water, that is telling us to sell our organs for money. So I think it's like kind of difficult to compare the two, although again, the Democrats will tell you that we're absolutely living under that.
Okay. But have you read some of the things that or heard some of the things that Trump has said? Like Trump, the last couple of days have said regime change is done. There's
I
new
mean,
leadership. Go ahead.
I understand. I mean, but I also think I don't think Trump could even come right out and say um, that he wanted regime change, because then all you're going to hear is, oh, the West is interfering again. And, then whoever does come to power, they're just going to say, oh, Trump put him in power. Like, I don't think he can come out, like, right out and say that anyways.
But let's just say that is the case. Let's just say the plan was to, keep it hush hush, and then when the time is right, Trump will, make the announcement, or the Shah will. They have been off. They have not been aligned. If that was the case, I would just advise the Shah and Trump, just don't even mention anything else really. Just play dumb and whatever. But there was that one day where the Shah put out a video that I accept the position, and then the very next day Trump is saying, he's not the guy. That doesn't make sense. And my worry is that Trump is going to find somebody within the current regime to work with. And then what does the Shah do? Does he put out a message like, now is the time to take back your government?
Yeah. I
Does
mean, they
the
basically already came out and
really?
said that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who's they? Who's they said that?
Well, I would say that obviously the Shah did. And then I think at one point, I don't know, I'm trying to think if it was, oh God, it's like 7 a.m. here. I'm so sorry. I think it was maybe,
Okay.
was it Trump that had said something about, or maybe it was just the Shah. I don't know. What, it was either both of them or just the Shah, but that was basically saying, like it's the time is going to be coming for the Iranian people to take to the streets. And,
Well, to be fair, Trump said that day 3 of the war.
that
He
is
said,
true. That is very
okay,
true. And I was not, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not thrilled about how that played out.
right. And
So,
then you had Bibi do a half-assed version of it by saying, go out and celebrate for the holiday. Or I think it was your New Year, I think somebody
mhm,
said.
right.
Um, and I'm sure if Bibi and Trump could wave a magic wand, those celebrations would have led to a whole bunch of chaos where they overthrew the government to Trump and said, now is the, let's put out a message to Trump, and said, now is the, let's put out a message to get them out. And Trump said, no, they will get mowed down.
I
And
mean,
my
I think that
worry, oh, go
Trump
ahead.
is more in control than Bibi personally, because I think that, and again, personally, I think during the conflict like last summer, I mean, it was kind of brief, obviously, but I think Israel would have finished the job and taken him out then, and I don't think Trump let him. That's just my opinion
Hmm.
for
Okay.
whatever reason.
Okay. And that's not really the point about who's running the show. But I feel that at the very least, Trump is not confident that there's enough people or enough will to overthrow the government.
But I mean, I think that we have seen based on all of the people that came out into the streets. I mean, right now you have the besiege and IRGC has been like outside of homes and stuff. So I mean, it's right now it's not like it was necessarily in the beginning, but everyone is ready to go back out. Pretty much anyone I speak to is literally like, to them it's so, and I know that we can't imagine here in the States like the level of desperation, after living under a regime like that for decades. But the people, I've talked to multiple people who said, that it would be worth it that for them to be unalived if it would free the next generations.
Did you hear about whenever there was a story about the Kurds?
Oh Lord, yes, I remember that.
Okay. And what were your thoughts on that? If I talked to you the day that that story kind of leaked out, were you in favor of that or no?
No, because I think that that would be a
Really?
disaster.
Okay. That was an eye-opening point in this war was, and at whoever was up here at the time, they said that they would rather kiss the feet of the IRGC than get help from the Kurds. And that was
Well,
eye-opening
that's
to
a
me.
little, I mean, I don't know about all that. That's a little extreme, but yeah, I mean that would just be a whole nother nightmare opening up, because yeah, that would not be good. Although I don't think that they are I don't think that that plan's actually happening though. I don't know if it was just like rumored, or I'm not sure where that came from.
Do you want Trump to stay in this war to make sure that like the Shah gets there safely and that every member, just about every member is gone?
I mean, I think that if we can have maybe like some special forces and things like that, I mean, I don't think we need a huge, I mean, I would think if anything, Israel would probably be there more so to help than anything. But I think that we should still have at least like a small presence there. Yeah. Because I mean, otherwise, I think it would almost be like irresponsible to just go in and topple the regime and then just like go by and like not do anything else.
Right. And just so you know, that my only thing is I have been saying for a while now, is Trump just needs to get the fuck out. And it's not that I'm against the Shah, right? If Trump said this morning that the Shah is going to land and we're going to slowly withdraw, I would be all about that. I don't care. Just whatever gets Trump out of this quicker, that's what I'm all about. But whenever we talk about Trump possibly putting boots on the ground or extending the time that we're there, I think there's two things. One, there's at least a chance that the percentage of people within your land that want regime change is not as high as you think it is. Right?
No.
There's no chance. Okay, so when people come up here and say 90% of the people want regime change,
Mm-hmm.
you really believe that?
Absolutely. This is like not something new. And I mean,
Okay.
you have to look at how the people are living. Again, like in the West, I know we can't like truly understand. It's like very different, but um like it's just straight up desperation.
Okay. In my opinion, I feel that there is at least a small chance. I think it's a great chance, actually, but let's just go with a small chance that the percentages that you are quoting do not match up. That's point one. And then point two is let's just say we do get the shot in there, and the goal is to hold free and fair elections. What happens if they elect somebody just as bad, if not worse? Which
Um
you can acknowledge there's a chance of that.
I don't necessarily think it should be a democracy. I don't think it has to be exactly the same that we have.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was the whole point, was it? I've heard so many times democracy
Well,
is
I
key.
mean, I understand, but I think maybe like a constitutional monarchy or something. I don't know if going from like the monarchy to straight up democracy, I mean, that seems like a really big jump. So that's just my opinion. And whoever's in the comments that's trying to
Don't
say,
worry. Don't
no,
worry.
I
Don't.
just have to say it. It has not always been a Muslim country. We're Zoroastrian, idiot. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Uh, when I started talking about this, I think a few days before the war started, and after talking about it for 2 or 3 nights and just asking what I thought was common sense questions, right away I said Trump should not be in this through regime change. And the reason is just getting from where we are right now to the Shah touching down. I feel that there's going to be a lot of death to get
I
there.
mean, there's already been a lot of death. I mean, there are people being executed right now, innocent people, like right now. So, I mean, that's not really anything new for the Iranian people. It's just that, you know, this would actually like lead to regime change and some kind of freedom.
Will you be pissed if Trump gets out and the Shah isn't there?
Um, I mean, again, I mean, I think Israel might be more helpful. But I mean, I do not think Trump will, I mean, he may not say it, but I think that there will be some forces like we may not know about, like special forces or whatever, but I think we will still have at least some presence there, because otherwise that would just be dumb and irresponsible.
Do you think Trump expected more in the first 26 days after the Ayatollah is gone? Maybe you
No,
didn't, but do you think really?
no, because I don't think that the Shah would have told everyone to like wait until
No
like
offense, the
it's
Shah.
time.
Okay, go ahead. Oh,
Well,
wait, say
I mean,
that
I
again.
understand, but I mean, that's who people listen to. So,
Okay. How many? I don't get this the Shah thing. I mean, I get it. I get the point that everybody wants the regime gone. My worry is that this regime, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, there are people dying. They're dropping bombs on their head multiple times a day, but it's just next man up.
I
And then
mean,
God,
they
go
just
ahead.
keep
You
taking
can
them
finish.
out.
Oh, okay. But at some point, let's say after 80 days, I'm just using a round number, 80 days they were bombed every day, thousands of bombs dropped on them. There's still going to be people there.
I mean, but you have to look at the numbers as well, because if you send the people in, and I also know that they're forming militias and things like that as well.
Hmm.
They were calling like people in the Persian diaspora to come and join. This was like a couple weeks ago. So I think that there's a lot of moving pieces that we probably aren't fully aware of. But I think if you send all of the Iranians into the streets against whatever is left of the regime, if they are armed, I'm not worried at all that they will take that down.
The argument about let's arm them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two points. One, um, just handing the what weapons, whatever you give them, it does not disarm the other side, right? And
Mm-hmm.
two, if I'm in charge of that choice, if I arm them or not, I think it's very difficult to just say full on, yeah, let's do it, when that could lead to essentially a civil war and a whole lot of death over a decade or whatever. And
Yeah, you're
I
not going
just
to see that though.
okay, what makes you confident that won't happen?
Um, just the sentiment. I mean, it's like no one. I mean, no one supports this regime. Like there is nothing good. I mean, the dollar, done. Like I said, running out of water.
Hmm.
They don't invest in anything for the people. Everything goes to their proxies. I mean, it's like there's no way anyone would want that to continue.
Then why were there so many people as bombs were dropping throughout the country? Why was it their side that had a lot of people out there, A, mourning the death of the Ayatollah, and B, worshiping a cardboard cutout of the new Ayatollah?
I mean, that is largely their propaganda. I believe that it was actually
No,
proven
no,
that
no,
some of that
no.
was AI.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you have to understand, like, this is, that's going to be like your IRGC, members and families, people that actually benefit from the regime, and they bring them out. I mean, that's their whole thing, is like it's a spectacle. So,
Right, but
I
the
mean, that's
Shah
what
brought
they're
out
doing.
his people. The Shah wanted his people to come out back on February 14th and the days and weeks before and after, right? So
Hmm.
that is part of it. Whenever, Trump holds a rally, he wants as many people as possible there. So I mean, I don't think that's propaganda. I think that
No, but it
is
is
okay.
because he's setting it up, and he's having, I mean, like these people, if you look
But
at
the
them, like
Shah was
they look
setting up rallies
crazy.
as well, was he not? He had
No, but not from
250,000
within.
people. Oh,
Not
go
from
ahead.
within. I mean, it's very different to say, people all over go into the streets versus okay, you have to go here because we're going to film this and you're going to, make sure you're crying and everything for this set propagandized thing.
Do you really think that many people, it was like a movie scene where they were telling people, okay,
Absolutely.
you really?
They do that all the time.
Oh my God.
Like they are
I,
crazy. Like you saw like everything in
mhm.
Gaza would, right? They learned all of that from the regime. That's why none of the Persians fell for the Pali propaganda because growing up, like we've seen it, our families would like show it to us, like, regime propaganda, and Pali propaganda, one and the same.
But I think the Pali propaganda was, where they would uh, put a child in like, a fake explosion or whatever, and then somebody would catch that person picking up the kid, and the baby was just fine. I didn't see much propaganda when it's just somebody recording from a balcony, and you just see people for miles and miles celebrating or mourning, depending on which rally or whatever it was. There was, it wasn't like, okay, action, you wave a flag, you hold up a photo, you cry. It was just the video from the balcony that I don't think that could be fake or Pallywood or whatever.
Um, and I understand, but again, like those are people who are affiliated with the regime. So
Right.
you have to understand
That's a
like those
lot
are
of
people
people
that
though.
actually profit from it. But that's
And that's
still not
that's
but
okay.
that's still okay, so that's still the rest of the people against them is still larger in number.
Okay, well, there's a big difference between 51% to 49% and 90% to 10%. That's a big difference. That's a difference of about probably 36 million, right? So that I think that is, I don't know. Because I know how passionate you are about this, and I've tried to think about if I was this passionate about something for this long, just everything that is going on points to um, it not going the way that maybe you envisioned. And there's a lot of people that had your vision, and nobody is acknowledging like, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
There,
and I understand that, like coming from a Western perspective, like I see, and I mean, again, like it's so hard for people to understand what's going on as well because we do have that internet blackout. So there's just a lot of moving pieces. I think that there's a lot going on in the ground that um we don't fully know. I don't think Trump is going to say anything because I mean, to be honest, it's stupid to tell people what you're doing in war. I don't know why people expect that. That is so dumb, but
do you think Trump's sincere whenever he says he wants to negotiate with members of the current regime? Do you think that's
no.
real?
No.
Okay, so okay,
Who's he going to talk to? Like who
okay.
is there? Like I think I saw him in one interview saying like he doesn't even know who he's talking to anymore.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I think there were reports that Trump wanted two people off the do not kill, or like they wanted them, to make sure that they were not killed. I don't know who the two people are. I think there were names out there, but I couldn't even tell you who it is because I don't know anybody there. The only person I really know is the foreign minister that's always on U.S. media. So whenever Trump says, we're negotiating, they're begging for a deal. You think that's just all just made up bullshit, or
Yeah.
really?
I think he's trying to appease maybe, I don't know if it's Democrats or I don't know who, but yeah, I think he was trying to make it look like, okay, well, we have no other option kind of deal. Which, I mean, to be fair, even if you did make a deal with them, I mean, it's a freaking joke. They're just going to break it.
Right, but the message that JD Vance could say to whoever these two people are, or one person or five people, whatever it is, it's either A, you become America's bitch and do what we say, or you die. And I think that's a pretty good sales pitch. No? You mean we can't find one person within this regime that would rather live than die?
I mean, you have to also understand that they are willing to die for Islam.
Okay, so no. So okay. Uh,
I mean, I'm just being
okay.
honest. Like,
I'm not saying you're lying. I think you're giving me your honest opinion on things. I don't know. I don't know why that's your opinion. I mean, I guess your explanation in regards to this is, well, nobody can be trusted, essentially.
I
Right?
mean, yeah, I mean, I just don't think you can, like, these people, they love death more than life. It's just a totally different mindset.
Right. No, I get that. The religion definitely glorifies death. I just think at some point, if you just keep taking out everybody, somebody there, whether it's a janitor or somebody has to say, you know what, I'd rather live than die, maybe. And Trump celebrated 8 or 10 oil tankers going through the strait yesterday, which the more and more I figured out that that's basically nothing. That was surprising that Trump was celebrating that.
I mean, I don't know about why he does certain things like that. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I can speculate on a lot of stuff. But I do trust Trump. I really do.
So if Trump says I'm working with the foreign minister, and I'm picking him because that's literally the only person I know. If Trump says I'm working with the foreign minister, we're going to withdraw, and BB's going to stop as well, because I think that's one thing you're relying on. But if Trump is done, I think BB has to be done.
I do not think that Trump, after all of this, would leave any of them in power. I don't think he's that stupid. I have more faith in him than that.
Okay, but if hypothetically Trump does say, I am going to work with the foreign minister and we're going to get the fuck out, do you trust his judgment there?
Um,
Guess
I
not.
mean, I wouldn't believe that. I mean, if he said it, I wouldn't believe it though. I'd be like, okay, well, is he
So
trying
what
to throw
has
people
to
off? I don't
happen?
know.
What? Okay, so if Trump says we're out, everybody's done, the bombing is going to stop, the strait is back open, we're going to work with person A, whoever, within the current regime, you still wouldn't believe that?
No, I don't, because I
Oh my
genuinely
God.
do not. I do not think that Trump is that stupid. I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I do not think he's that. I do not think he would go through all of this. I don't think he would do it if there were not going to be some kind of actual solution or change taking place. And I think he is well. I think Trump understands Islam because he was going to do a Muslim ban his first term.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah. Aurora, I don't know, love. I'm not surprised by some of your answers, but the towards the end here, I am surprised. Me personally, I think there has been a lot of things that have surprised Trump. And we're at a point now where we could escalate maybe one, two, three more times. But at some point, it's going to escalate to a point where this is going to get really ugly really quick with everybody involved. And there's no there's no shutting that off. That is much more difficult, getting however many countries to stop when a lot of people are pissed off. That's way more difficult than finding some moron within the current regime to work with Trump.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Trump is going to do. Like, I genuinely,
Well, nobody does. Nobody does.
yeah.
Trump could put out a tweet any second and say, we're done, we're withdrawing now. Trump could also put out a tweet saying, they no longer will have access to anything oil wise, energy wise, because we bombed the shit out of them. Right? Like, and I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that Trump can say anything at any time. I just, I sense for Trump to stay in this much longer.
I, I, I guess we will have to see it play. Like I said, I think my final thing is just that I
Yeah.
do trust Trump. I think that
As
he
long
will
as he
say
does
things
what
to
you,
like
no,
mislead.
no, correct yourself. You trust Trump as long as he does what you think he should do. If he cuts a deal with somebody within this administration, you don't trust that. You don't
But I don't
believe that
think
he
that
would even do that.
I don't think he is that dumb.
Okay.
I genuinely do not think he is that unintelligent.
Okay. So whenever we sit there and just weigh the pros and cons of wrapping this up before all hell really does break loose, I just don't see many cons to doing that. Right? There's a lot of pros to stopping this before it really gets out of control, and a lot of different countries involved. I don't see any cons to that, especially when it comes to an America first president.
I mean, but this is America first because you are
Okay.
protecting the nation. This is like a national security issue.
Do you think most Americans feel that way?
Um, I mean, I think there's a lot of Americans that have absolutely no idea what's going on. I mean,
Sure.
like growing up, like every school project I would want to do something about, you know, Iran being Persian. And the kids in my classes couldn't even figure out the difference between Iran and Iraq. So like, you know what I mean? I don't have a lot of faith in the American public for this.
You're right,
I'm
but
just being honest.
the okay, and I appreciate that. But the American public is against. First of all, you know, as time goes on, they're gonna get more and more loud and against Trump being over there. Let's face it, half the country dislikes anything Trump does.
Right.
You know, so and then when you have Republicans peeling off one by one, dozen by dozen, you know that's a problem. But I will say I think Trump could make one pitch to the American people and say, look, we need boots on the ground. It's going to be for a couple weeks. We got to make sure the strait is back open, and we're going to take over. We're going to take over this or that, and these are our objectives, and then we're done. I think Trump could definitely get away with that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Anything
think
other than that,
it
I
might
don't think so.
just be that he lets it play out and then, you know, ignores the BS in between and then, you know, is like, okay, this is why we did it. And
Okay.
when it all goes through, I mean, that is just my opinion.
Okay. All right. Do you
I
want to?
have faith. I
Like,
have the
okay,
faith.
and I'm not. You should have faith. I'm not criticizing you for having faith. I just, and to be fair, there's a lot of people that have your mindset. But whenever I ask a question, what are some things that you have seen or read or heard that leads you to believe that Trump is going to be in this much longer? There's not
Well, that's
much
what I'm
there.
saying because, like,
Okay.
I don't think he's giving out. too much information because that's so dumb during like war strategy.
Right, but whenever he says things like the Shah is not the guy, whenever he says things like there's already regime change, it's done, we have won, it's over. When he says things like that, that is I mean that's him talking, whether you believe it or not. He's just not saying anything that backs up the thought process that you have.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have to wait and see it play out, but I do have faith in Trump and I do have faith in the Iranian people.
Do you think Trump has faith in your people?
I mean, I would like to think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that, he would be saying, okay, put together militias and things like that.
Trump has said that?
Yeah, like I don't think he would be letting Israel do stuff like that.
Okay. Do you want to stay up here as I bring up more people, or are you sick of this conversation?
I'll probably drop just because I cannot do another
Why?
regime supporter.
What?
Dave,
Another?
I'm gonna lose it on them.
But just so okay. And whenever people do come up, and there's people in the queue, I don't know who's who. I mean, some of them I do know, but whenever they come up, has anybody given you the argument that I don't like the current regime, but I hate America more? I think there's a lot of people within your country that feel that way. They might not like it, but they actually hate the West more.
I would disagree.
Okay.
I don't think I mean, people in the West just don't understand this regime. That's all I can explain. Like, it's not.
No, they're
something anyone
horrendous.
wants to live
No,
under.
no, no. Everybody understands the regime is bad. There's nobody that I know of from the West that is like, no, the regime is great. Nobody's saying that. Even the pro-regime people are saying that I come across.
Yeah, but there's no comparison. I mean, maybe people on TikTok that say like, "Oh yeah, I'm Iranian," da, 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 but that goes against the messaging of the people. So, but I'm gonna go because I have to take my dog out. But thanks for
Yeah,
having me
take your
up.
dog. Bye, Aurora. Take care.
Bye.
Good
Uh,
morning.
good morning, Luna. Your thoughts on that conversation?
Um, which part? Because I'm
All of
getting
it.
in.
Well, however you
So,
go ahead.
so I do trust Trump, and if he
Okay.
does make the decision to pull out of Iran and make a deal, it's possible. Um, but I trust him to do what's right and good for America. He is America first, and I live here. Again,
Hmm.
I mean, I would like to see it differently. I would like him to finish the job, and get rid of this regime because it would be best for everyone in that region, especially after what they did, attacking the neighboring countries. I mean, how are they going to stay? You know? But I
Right.
do trust Trump, and I do trust him making the right decision. Now,
Whenever, no,
with,
go ahead. You
with what
finish.
you said regarding there are people that are against the regime but also hate the West, yes, there are. There are some
Right.
weird people. I mean, it might not make sense to us, but does does everything everyone think or
Wait, but
uh,
that does
do?
make sense. I was against Joe Biden. I'm against the Democratic Party, but that doesn't mean I want Russia coming in and wiping out the Democratic Party,
Oh, I've
right? So,
met liberals that hate Trump, and even though they know what he's doing is right and this regime is evil, they agree with that, but they still disagree with what Trump is doing, and they actually wish uh death on him. Like, I wish they
okay, no,
I've
I'm not that, but that's not the same thing to me.
yeah.
Being a partisan hack, I do get those people that say, look, I hate the IRGC, but I don't want somebody else fucking making our choice. And I feel the same way. I agree with that. How is that wrong, Luna? All right. All right. Luna's on mute. Oh, go
Sorry.
ahead.
I said no, I agree with you. There are weird people out there. There are people that actually against this regime but are pro Pally. So that doesn't make sense either.
Okay, that's hypocritical, and I get that. But whenever you heard Trump say regime change is done, it's done. There's a new regime there.
I
How
think
did?
what he meant by that is
Okay,
that they're all gone. That's like, do you
but
s- not
that's not the
that?
case. Obviously, that's not the case. He's dealing with one or two people from the current regime. The state TV is putting out demands.
I think one is the parliament spokesman and the other one is the foreign minister that are left. And he gave him 10 days, something like that, or 5 days to not unalive them, right?
Right. So you're right. But I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I don't know. But the point is there, whenever he said regime change, there still are people within the current regime still there. He's talking to them, whether it's through back channels or through Vance or Ruby or whoever. But
Yeah.
they are still alive.
I think who the IRGC is alive, what's called SIPA. They're very powerful in Iran. They are the ones who run the government. So those leaders of SIPA are still making the decision.
Can you think of any reason why Trump would want out of this?
Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure here from America to end this war. And I
Anything
can
else?
understand it's
Is there any other reason you could think of besides political pressure, which I think that has a small part of it, but is there any other reason why Trump would want out?
maybe he's bored. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it's more of like what's best for America for him, you know, making sure that we don't have any it's really hard to see our troops getting unalived. Um,
Sure.
and I'm sure he's getting heat for that too. But I don't know. I think he just wants to make a deal and he I think it's a regime change. I know you disagree with that. I also think his
And
goal
what
is
leads
to
you
change
to believe that?
because he's targeting the government officials. Like he literally they took out the Iranian leader, supreme leader.
That wasn't me opening chips. That was Luna. That was not me. Or whatever she was doing. But just going back to the question, do you think, let me say it a different way. Do you think Trump is disappointed in anything so far?
I know what you're getting at.
What am I
Um,
getting at, Luna?
um, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just waiting. They haven't given the people the green light, Dave. I mean, tell
Go
me.
ahead. Go ahead. I just, I don't know.
Um,
I don't understand. I don't. But go ahead, finish your thought.
I remember last time I was here, I was saying that yeah, Trump might be done. The regime is weakened. There's nothing left. Now the Iranian people need to take their freedom and take their country back, just like Trump said. And that's going to happen. Has to happen, Dave. And if it doesn't, then they're screwed. We're screwed too. Um, that's just it. That's the reality of it. It's up to them. It's not up to us. It's not up to Trump. Am I wrong? I mean, don't you agree?
No, I'm not saying that part is wrong. But whenever I ask the question, do you think Trump expected, as we're about to head into the fifth week of this war, that a uh, this regime would be doing more damage to Israel this week than they did the prior 7 weeks of war, including the 12-day war? Do you think Trump was under the expectation that with all the manpower that he put out there, that these people wouldn't rise up, that they wouldn't be, meaning the regime wouldn't kind of fold? I think Trump thought they were going to fold. I think it's fair to say that if you're putting that much manpower out there and you're saying 4 to 5 weeks, and do you think Trump thought that this was going to be happening as we enter the fifth week?
Um, I think he actually said for them not to come out. Don't, I mean, why would he
He said
expect
that
that
day
when he
one. He said
knows?
that the very first day. Now, to be fair, day three, he essentially called them to go out. Now, you could say, well, bombs were flying.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
but okay,
exactly what was happening. I mean, how are you going to
right.
go out when there are bombs flying? And it's gonna happen again when that time comes and America's out. They're gonna have to take their country back, take their freedom. Their, you know, and another thing I wanted to say about the 12-day
Mhm.
war is that the reason why they stopped, I think that was all planned. America stopped Israel because they found out what they have regarding missiles and all. Israel wouldn't have been able to done it by itself. They had to. This had to happen. You know what I mean? I think Iran
Right.
showed when they hit Qatar, the last missile round of missile, they showed what they had with that. And that's when Trump came out and said, hey, let's end it, told Israel to stop.
Okay. I okay.
I think that 12-day war, it was kind of a test to see what they have and how strong they are.
Do you think? But to me, I don't know.
I think it was
Uh,
planned. Don't you think, like, you think, wasn't it a smart move for them to
so
stop?
you think that Trump had it in his mind at the beginning that on the 11th, 12th, 13th day, I'm going to walk out to the White House lawn and say these people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and tell BB to turn planes around? You really think that was all planned?
I think when Israel attacked, they didn't know what Iranians had.
Do you think they know now
They
what they
do
have?
now. Yeah.
Okay, and okay, so
And the
why
way they
why?
made
Okay,
the move on, all the forces they have there and what they're doing, it was all knowing what, maybe not to this extent, but like they knew what to do and where to go and how to. It was more, their strategy was more planned out than it was before,
I feel that
based
when
on.
Trump, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying based on the intelligence they gathered.
I have been saying that when Trump is done, BB is done. But let's just say I'm wrong. Do you think Israel alone can get you to the promised land where there's full on regime change and stuff like that?
I think it's going to get to a point where Israel can do that alone.
Okay. And how do we get to that point? Just keep dropping bombs for a few more weeks, eliminating more and more people?
I think it's getting close.
Okay.
We don't. The thing is, we don't know. We can keep assuming and speculating. We just don't know exactly. I can sit here and say I think, I'm assuming, but
Right.
the truth is we don't know. But again,
But the frustrating part for me, Luna, is whenever uh, if people come up and want to say they disagree with me, no problem. If people want to come up and give their opinion, no problem. But whenever you have an opinion, and I'm not talking about just you, I'm just saying in general, if you have an opinion, give me things that back up or explain why you're saying what you're saying. And that's the frustrating part, that the things that I'm saying, I could give dozens of reasons that point to that direction. Okay? And the whole argument that, well, Trump's not always showing his cards, I think that's very fair before a war. I think it's more difficult as Americans are waiting for Trump to explain to them when this war ends. So you can't go down that road of 4 to 5 weeks and then we're going to do this, do that. You have to be able to follow through and get the fuck out. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, I agree. He's gonna have to wrap this up soon. I mean, he can only drag this for 90, what was it, 90 days? 60 days, and he gets additional 30 days to, wrap it up. So something's gonna have to give, because otherwise he's gonna have to go to Congress.
Okay. All right. I'm going to bring other people up. Do you have anything you want to say before I do? But
No,
you could, of course, stay up here if you'd like. Let's go with Han. Who is who? Real Joe. And Fahad. All right. Han, what do you got, Han? I know you were up here before. What side are you on, sir?
Wait a minute. You got it's real Joe Hutchison.
No, hold on. I was talking to Han above you. Hold on, Joe.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Let Joe finish.
Okay.
Dave, let
Oh, well,
Joe
he
finish.
didn't. Okay, he didn't say much. But Joe, you have terrible feedback, sir.
How about that? Is that better?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
One.
No.
Is that better?
No.
Good. Great. Here I get on and I can't even get my phone to work right.
Okay, but give me your thoughts. Why did you want to come up?
Well, I think what's going on here is like the art of war.
Okay.
Okay, so Trump did. You understand that if Iran would do a self nuclear blast of their own country, wiping out for a lifetime the oil, natural gas there that even goes over to Qatar or whatever.
Wait. I'm sorry. So the art of war is doing what? Just bombing yourself?
No.
Okay.
You've got a nation that has threatened America and Israel nonstop, not counting, we know the 47 years of issues and so forth. The reason why we're there is because we've gotten to the reason why we've gotten to this point is now we know that they have long-range missiles, ballistic missiles. And that's what they would strap a warhead to. And you have to understand the Muslim belief, and I'm not putting down the Muslim belief. I'm just saying they're dedicated to losing their life for their belief. And with that being said, the regime there would have no problem with destroying that whole country to be spiteful, which would kill it for a lifetime and that waterway for a lifetime. And that means it would change the whole world economy. It would destroy the oil and natural gas there for a lifetime. And it would definitely throw a whole new spin to the way this world rolls when it comes to the European nations and their trade and their oil and their natural gas.
So
And
what you're saying is that doesn't that give Trump even more motivation to maybe work with somebody and prevent damage to everybody, and find somebody within the current regime and get the fuck out?
well, I think that is possibly what's going on. As being naive as just a civilian in America, and I mean, I guess when you said that a lot of people hate the West, it's funny. There's over 20 million people that cross the border illegally here that hate America, as much. But I find what it is that they've destroyed all the soft targets. They've destroyed the things that were easy pickings, and they've played the chess game to the point now we're seeing they're bringing out their bishops, and they're moving the king and the queen basically on the chessboard. They had to figure out what is inevitably going to be the real factor of this. When they shoot one of those 2,500-mile ballistic missiles out, we don't know if they have one just a little bit stronger, and they've been financed through China and Russia. They don't make all these parts there. They get these parts. So you have to think about the seriousness of the fanatic aspect. Would they do self-harm, like none like the unliving vest that they do and did in Afghanistan and so forth, by taking out military people and personnel with those vests? What would stop these Iranian fanatics?
Okay, just let me ask you a question. Are you okay? Are you okay with boots on the ground?
I believe if boots go on the ground, and I would be okay with that.
Okay, so what happens if Iran decides to do self-harm and kill a lot of people and our boots are on the ground?
Well, that is.
How does that make sense?
Well, listen. Well, I don't know why we all can't just hold hands and be friends. So that don't make sense. I'm just saying to you that you're not going to stomp out evil.
No. Can you address exactly what I'm asking you? You came up here and said we should worry about the current regime doing self-harm,
Right.
and essentially bombing themselves, right?
Well, they'd wipe out right now. If they would do that, they would wipe out our entire military in that sea line and those troops that are there. And
Okay, so
yeah, I'm just saying to you, they go into the service. It's like, hey, listen, when you train to be a doctor, you know you're going to have to cut someone open and do some patch-up work, okay? So these people that, and I have total respect for these people that went in the service, but they were trained for weeks and months and years to know that this is a possibility. They didn't have to enlist. There's no draft now. I'm saying to you, I don't want no one to die. I don't want anybody.
really?
Huh? Really? Yes, really. But I'm saying
Okay.
to you that if your job is to kill or be killed,
Right.
okay, that's why you.
Well, your job's not to be killed, that's for sure.
Well, I'm saying to you, when you enlist to go into service, you're told that you could die. You could be called out at any moment with crazy conflict, and that your price could be your life. So,
Okay, so my question to you, very simple, is with all of this being said, A, Israel could self-harm, Iran could self-harm, B, they could do that while U.S. troops are on the ground there, which would lead to a lot of death. Isn't a better option to maybe find some kind of resolution and get the fuck out of there?
absolutely.
Okay,
That might be. I mean, we're all speculating. That's why people are wanting to share their opinions and thoughts. Whatever the president is doing at this moment in time, and whoever he's quote talking to in this moment in time, has some form of authority, or those Pakistani flagged tankers wouldn't have made it through. So there's somebody that has and the Pakistani wants to be a mediator, and is basically trying to do mediation to stop this nonsense. But you have the Saudis and the EAU and you have all those other countries trying to pay their way, saying stay, stay, stay. Take the last tooth out of the dog, so that has no longer a bite. And so if you leave two people that were under the first go arounds of leadership in there that have the same mentality, then you still have the same concept. This is a tricky situation. And
Right, but your solution makes zero sense.
my solution is for them to go ahead and do battle, or what?
When you start off with boots on the ground, knowing what you explained was a danger, that doesn't make sense. Trump should, no doubt, figure out how to resolve this without going down that road.
That's listen. The problem is boots on the ground. Our troops over there, I'd much rather it be over with, as much as anybody else that has a conscience. The thing I have a problem with is what you don't know and we don't know when it comes to a nuclear warhead. And that's the thing. But it's going to be detonated nonetheless. It's either going to be shot to a country or
All right. I don't know why that echo is getting worse. Can you fix it and then come back up? You're just come back up, my good friend. Long day. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Illinois.
All right. And what brings you up, sir?
This very, very interesting prompt. Coming down, having the conversation about the benefits and or motivation.
Why don't you tell your thing, brother? Good to see you, man.
Talking about the benefits and the motivation.
Hey, why? You got a little bit of issue with
Sorry, I believe you.
I have no clue what that was about. No fucking clue. No clue.
Hello, my friend.
Ash, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
All right, what brings you up?
Basically the same reason, same Iranian talking, basically lying here.
All right, give me your thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically you said about the Grand War. Basically, as you guys know, like Iran had 8 years Grand War with Iraq, yeah, before the after the Islamic Revolution, and Iran won that grand 8 years war. And I don't know how you guys think just Donald Trump gonna drop some soldier there and you guys gonna make it out, or it's just gonna kill the soldiers. That's all you're gonna do.
Where are you from, Ash?
I'm saying Iran knows, I don't know, any island.
Okay.
Donald Trump wanna drop the soldiers and wanna leave them there. Iran know every like they've been getting ready for this day for 40 years. So
Ash, where are you from?
I'm from Iran.
Of course. Where's your family originally from?
From Iran. They're all from Iran. They're all in Iran now.
Really?
At the moment. Yeah, they're all in Iran. They're in Shiraz city.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, basically.
So are they pro-regime?
Yeah, I support the regime because they're protecting my family.
How? Okay, but there are people that come up here and say that they're killing civilians.
These people, no, listen.
So why are you protected
they
and
call
others are
those
not?
people as the civilians. Basically, those people that do protest and they don't do they basically they're going burning the mosque.
Somebody in the chat said you're from Somalia. Is that true?
Of course not. Well, you asked me yesterday to show my face. I did. I don't know if you remember. They was saying the same thing.
Oh, that was you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the same thing going on. Anyone supporting Iran regime in the Europe, they call him Afghani. They call him. They can't just accept it because they're being brainwashed by media, Iran International and BBC, and they're not watching any other news. They're just watching those news and they think that's the only truth. That's why they think like this.
Okay. You're lucky my wife Polish is not here because I don't think she was a big fan of yours.
Yeah, but not many people are. But I'm just talking. Basically, I wasn't the regime fan like years ago, but I become the fan because I see the truth.
Wait, do you live in the UK?
Yes.
Why don't you live in Iran then if you're so protected?
Well, if they need me, I will go back.
No, but I mean, if your family's living there and they're
But what
protected,
can I do? I can't
well,
protect
then
them
why
from
don't?
the bombing.
Wait. I'm just asking you a question. If everything is going so well for you and your family's doing great in Iran, why are you in the UK?
If as soon as America leave Iran, I will go back.
Why? Why are you scared of America? Don't you want to go
I
fight?
don't scared of America. I don't see any reason to go back
They
right now.
need you to go back now. They're
Why?
being
Why the
bombarded. They
reason?
have
What I'm gonna
Israel
do
and
now?
America.
I can't do
Huh?
anything. I can't do anything against America. I just can talk and maybe educate some Iranian kids.
Also,
You
you
guys
want
being
your family.
brainwashed.
You want your family to go and fight for America, but you don't want to fight. You want to stay safe in the UK.
No, I don't think so. I'm here to talk to like I
So
don't know.
get a flight. So get a flight. Go back there.
No, why
Yalla.
you guys? Why if you guys want a regime change? Why you guys don't go back and change it?
You support the IRGC.
Yeah,
You
we are
support the
already there.
regime.
You guys want to?
So go
I don't
and
want any
join
changes.
them.
I
They've
don't
had
want
a
any
number of
changes.
people taken out. A lot of their soldiers have been taken out. So go and join them. They're
So
recruiting.
no, listen. Like, you do not make sense. You just
How am I not making sense?
because Iran, I can't. If I go there, nothing gonna change. But if I stay here, I can talk because Iran there is no internet and no one supporting Iranian regime
Talking's not
in
going to do
Europe or
much.
in
They need you
Western
on the
countries.
ground.
Say that again.
Talking's not going to do much. They need you on the
No,
ground.
it does. Otherwise, if talking not gonna do much, the media wouldn't watch you guys. You guys don't want to accept it. Your family getting bombed.
I don't
You
know.
know?
You sound scared to me.
Of course I'm scared of bomb. Of course I do. Scared of bomb.
So you're happy for your family to die, but you don't want to die.
No, listen. I would die if my family go to that point. American soldier reach my family. I definitely gonna go tomorrow. But before that, I don't see any needs. You know, to go. Well, I can't do anything.
But you left before the bomb started flying, right?
I left like I haven't been in Iran for 12 years. I left when I was 18.
Okay. So what? U.S. What are we doing?
Why did you wait 12 years if it's so safe and your family's doing well? And
Well, they're happy. They don't need me. That's my chapter. It's different than their chapter.
No. You haven't been to Iran for 12 years, but your family's
But
doing
I call
well.
them
They're
every day.
happy.
But I call them every day.
What's a call gonna do? Why haven't you been around for 12 years? If you support the regime, you can.
I wasn't supporting regime like you. I just become a fan.
So
for last couple
when
years.
did you start supporting the regime?
Last 3 years, 3 years ago.
So why didn't you go 3 years ago? America and Israel
Why
wasn't
I
there
need
3
to
years
go
ago.
because my life is set up here. I don't need to go back.
Well, you can't go on a holiday to your country?
Well,
Bobby, I beg you, please fix that echo. I fucking beg you. I don't know what's going on with that.
I'll get my headset.
Okay, maybe do that before you fucking join. Han, are you ready to talk yet, Han?
I'm enjoying your show. I'm enjoying the platform. Dave.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Why did you want to come up?
But Dave, just so you know, I'm not from Congo and Somalia. It's funny. It's like every time you say that.
Well, I think Bombi and Ash both from Somalia, but
no, Ash is from Iran, like he said.
Okay, and what? But why? Where do you stand with this?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed about this yesterday, and I
know. I'm sorry. Unless you're a hot blonde, I don't remember much. So go ahead. Just
Yeah.
are you?
Dave,
do you want full-on regime change?
So, Dave, I don't really. It's quite complicated, and I think the U.S. didn't have a plan. Dave, everything has become so complicated for the U.S. Now, if we want to maintain our status as the world power, the strongest military power, then I don't think we should take a bait. If you take a bait, it affects us, the perspective in the international world in terms of the military superpower as well as economic superpower. And I think our hands are tied as a country, and I think it's quite complicated, Dave.
Okay. Well, it is complicated. So yeah, but okay.
Because Dave,
okay.
Listen, Dave, just a minute. So Russia, because we support Ukraine, okay, but now we are so in a difficult situation with our allies in Europe that we had to remove a temporary sanctions on Russia to sell their oil to make money, about billions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, about billions of dollars, which is going to be beneficial to Russia to support their fight against Ukraine. So it's quite complicated, Dave.
Okay. Well, you're up here stating the obvious that it is complicated, but let's go to the where are you from?
Virginia.
All right. What brings you up, sir?
How does I'm just gonna answer your prompts. I figured that's fair, right?
Well, let me just ask you a question. Are you pro-Trump, anti-Trump?
I voted for Trump, but I jumped off of the train long ago.
Sure, no problem. Are you in support of Trump and Bibi taking out the Ayatollah?
Like I said, I voted for Trump, and the one reason was no new wars, and I jumped off the train long ago.
Very good. What's the best way for Trump to get out of this?
I think, realistically, I don't think it's in his control anymore.
Okay. So what is the best way that this war can end that you would say, okay, that's the best scenario?
So the best possible scenario is a loss for all Americans. But the worst possible scenario is a loss for the world based off of the gas prices and oil prices. And the reason I say that is
I got you. Regardless, Trump will get that fixed. Trump has already declared victory. So it is what it is.
You can't just declare victory.
Are you rooting for America when it comes to this war?
Well, I'm always, I mean, yes, I'm on that ship.
Okay, why the hesitation? Okay, so
because this war
hold on one
was
second.
not.
Hold on one second. What is going well for America in this war?
Nothing.
Okay. So eliminating the okay, fair enough. All right. Anything else you want to say before I move on?
Well, the reason I just want to finish that up.
Okay.
Just give me like 1 minute, maybe.
I highly doubt that, but let's see how it goes.
So the reason the war is not going in our favor is due to the Strait of Hormuz and oil. That's all I wanted to say.
Genius. I appreciate that. All right,
So Dave,
I appreciate you. We
Dave, I
got
have
a lot of
question for you.
Go ahead, hon.
Yeah, because initially you had mentioned that Trump should get the F up, and and just leave. But
Well,
don't you
not
think?
initially. I've been saying that for I think since the very first night. But continue.
Right. But don't you think it's going to make us look weak? In terms of
To who?
To the world, because remember,
I don't
we
give
are
a
the.
fuck. What do I give a fuck what a dumb fuck in the UK thinks?
Yeah, but Dave, you have to look into the perspective of economic reason, okay? Because people believe in the superpower, especially the Saudis. They buy defense. Majority of the Eastern countries.
So if we get out, you're saying they wouldn't buy defense from us?
Well, I mean, it will kind of bring down.
That actually might make them more. That might make them buy more.
You think so? Especially when Iran is using $20,000, $30,000 drones to, strike, our allies. Don't you think so? And they're buying defense for about millions of dollars. They're spending millions of dollars on the U.S. Military equipment to fight $30,000 drones. So I think after this war, after this WAR, the whole narrative about how to fight wars and stuff is going to change.
Okay.
Because the reason why I'm saying that is because for you to become a superpower, especially when it comes to economic reason, especially with the dollar, okay, people believe in the dollar. They believe in the superpower of your dollar. So if you get up and leave, it makes you look weak, and nobody wants to put their reserves in a country or a superpower who economically looks weak. So it's quite complicated. But I think the best thing that we can do is to get hold of the Karg Island. where
Okay.
most of because currently the U.S. is controlling the Iraqi's oil, even though Iraq owns all of it. But remember, everything that is being sold, every oil that is being sold in Iraq is kept in the New York reserves, in the New York bank. So it's kept in the dollars in a way which makes the dollar stronger. So if you leave, just like that, it makes you look weak, which in a way, in the long term, it affects, your economic superpower. What do you think, Dave?
I think you're a smart man, and you put that together perfectly. Makes perfect sense, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you always. I learned so much from you.
What does that say? Marius?
Marius? Good morning. Yes, Marius. My name is Marius. Pronunciation.
Why does it say that? Disconnect Marius bet. There'll still be a viewer and camera. Okay. I don't know. I've never seen that come up. Just come back up. Maybe swipe out of the app first. Intolerant, please get out of the queue.
Good day.
IBB?
Yes, this is me.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Finland. I'm next to Russia.
Okay.
And I think this is a huge disaster for the United States. One
Tell
of the
me how.
biggest mistakes so far. I think the ramifications this is going to have globally, especially on the allies, as we already struggle with oil and gas prices, and now being cut off from even more. I think it's going to have a backlash.
Who struggles with gas prices? What did you mean
Europe,
by that?
South Asia right now.
Oh,
just
okay.
getting
I'm not
more
worried.
difficult.
That does nothing for me. Don't care. Okay, so
Yeah, but you should
go
care
ahead.
in the long run, especially if it's your allies.
Nah,
Your
I'll
allies
be
get
okay.
in trouble.
No,
Because you get no
no.
benefit from this war.
I can assure you, there's not many Americans that give a fuck about how much you guys are paying for gas.
Yeah, but you should, because we are your
Okay,
allies.
great. Okay, well then maybe
Because how are
someday
you
down the
gonna be a
road
superpower without
I'll look in the
allies?
mirror and say I should start fucking caring. So you're saying this is a disaster. How do you want this to wrap up or end?
Take the L for the world. Too much, it's it has been going on too much. Because why are you even there to begin with? Let's be honest. If your justification is a moral war, that's out the window. Come on, hey, no, you don't care about Gaza. You don't care about Sudan or any other place, North Korea or God knows all these shitholes in the world that treat people like garbage. So the moral justification is out of the window. So
All right, so if Trump just opens, so if Trump just opens up the strait and gets out, your bitch ass will stop bitching and moaning?
What did you say?
If Trump opens up the strait again, everything starts going through there, your bitch ass will stop bitching and moaning?
He has to publicly announce, this was a mistake. Well, I don't think his ego is going to allow that.
Wait,
because he's
Donald
too proud.
Trump? Wait, hold on one second. Do you not pay attention to what Trump says?
I do every day.
Donald Trump said he won on day 3.
Yeah, but you see, that's the delusion we're dealing with here.
Okay, so do you think that? Wait,
I think he's being fed wrong information.
Okay.
On purpose.
I'm just gonna restart. Intolerant, get out. Marius?
Is it working out?
Yeah, there's no echo. Great job.
Awesome.
Where are you from, sir?
I'm Detroit, Michigan.
All right. And are you a pro-Trump guy, anti-Trump guy?
I am a pro-Trump guy since I was a young boy when he was on The Apprentice. But that being said, I am pro-America, and I'm honest and I'm real, and that's what matters. But yes, I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm happy that he's our president again. In regards to this war and the person that was speaking before.
Well, hold on one second. I just want to ask you a quick question. If Trump put a whole bunch of boots on the ground, would you support that?
Absolutely. But guess what? Here's what we need to understand. That the world is watching, and clearly people from other countries are watching. Trump is ego this, ego that, and they're already thinking that we've lost or something like that, which is not true. What I want to remind people is this: we're talking about Iran. They've been saying that they are danger and they're dangerous and they got some form of capabilities. So the fact that they got a hold of the strait and they're retaliating, as they should, we did destroy a lot of their military leaders and supreme leader in a single day. So of course they're going to retaliate.
Do you think they're a threat to America?
100%. They are a strategical threat to America, and we are.
Do you think that they're a physical threat where they could do damage to America using missiles or anything like that?
Yes. Not through missiles. I think through
through which
open border policy and letting people in and having.
But our borders are closed.
Well, now they are. Talk about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. We don't know who's. There is some people that are.
I agree with you there, but
let me tell you one thing.
Hold on one second. No, it's okay. What I don't understand, I agree with the sleeper cells, but going in and eliminating, or at least trying to eliminate all of the IRGC does not make the sleeper cells disappear. So I don't get that argument.
So it's not an argument. I'm just saying there is people, and here's the argument. Perfect example.
Okay.
In Michigan, about a week or so ago, we had someone drive into a synagogue, okay, in West Bloomfield, Michigan. Okay, this happened. I was a mile away from when I was live when it happened, and guess what? That person, his allegiance is to the supreme leader of Iran, not the country. This is what people need to understand. There's people in Michigan, United States.
But they're always going to have an Ayatollah. They're always going to have somebody that's next, right? If somebody takes out Trump, go ahead, tell me more.
And here is why they won't have that next. If we have a regime change and we put different people in, Persians, real Iranians, not Shia Muslim Islamic Republic Iranians. Those are different because those are the people that are mixing religion with politics, and their countries first, it starts with, not Iran, it starts with Islamic Republic of Iran. Okay? When before it was the Republic of Iran. You got to bring the Persians back, the real ones back.
Oh, yeah. Make Iran Persian again. So that's great.
Like Reza Pahlavi. That will be a strategic partner. Where we won't have to fear the situation no more. Because guess what? We need to not think about the Middle East, and we have to put all of our focus on our actual enemy, and that is China.
Right. Okay. So, what happens if we can't get rid of every single member of the current government?
Well, that's the whole point. We're not going to, we can't get rid of every single member, but we've gotten rid of their top guys. There's a few more heads that needs to be chopped off. But by us doing that, by us maybe putting some troops on the ground, by us making the people that were protesting against the regime feel safe enough to go out and overthrow whoever that's running the show right now, a little bit here and there, the providences and everything. That's it. We have to destroy their military's morals, the guys that are fighting with a fighting spirit. There's a few hits that we do, strategical hits.
Why do you think Donald Trump is saying, let's not kill two of them? Let's negotiate with them. Why do you think Trump is doing that?
I don't think. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Trump is really calling those shots out. I think it's all about this is for the greater good of Israel, the greater good for Israel, our greatest ally in the Middle East. That's the truth. Israel wanted to
wait. Hold on one second.
The government in Syria. Israel wanted to do all that. So we're following the footprint or the blueprint that Israel is putting ahead of us, and they're saying, well, this is what we suggest. This is what we should do. And
somebody in the chat said you're Jewish. Are you Jewish?
I am not Jewish. I'm Assyrian. Go search that up. Not Syrian,
Okay.
Assyrian. Okay.
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, do you think that's wise that Trump is allowing Bibi to draw up the plan for? I think you said Greater Israel. Do you think that's wise?
And yeah, for sure, Greater Israel means an Israel that is not being attacked every day, that's not scared of Iran or specifically the Shia Muslims, because quite frankly, the Gulf countries are, yeah, they're Muslim, but at the end of the day, they're weaker. Their military is nothing. They pay money to protect themselves. The real threat to Jews, the real threat to sometimes even I would say freedom, is the Shia Muslims. And those are the ones that have taken over Iran, and Iraq, and they got these pocket militias, and they're the guys that are also in Yemen right now that are also a threat a little bit. The Houthis
Do
or
you think
whatever.
everyday Americans care about the Middle East at all?
Some do, well, they don't, because everyday Americans are busy with the gas prices and the bills and the situations. Everyday Americans don't even talk on a topic like this and they don't even know what I'm talking about, quite frankly.
Okay, so good. So just keep that response in mind as I say to you, how is this beneficial for everyday Americans to stay in this war?
It's very beneficial for everyday Americans and
Okay.
for us to stay in this war and to win and finish off the war or this conflict.
How so?
It's very beneficial. It's very beneficial for the future. It's very beneficial for next year and beyond, or whenever this is over with, because you'll have a brand new Iran, a friendly Iran, a different government. The people of Iran will have the chance to prosper and show the world what they're all about, and you won't have these problems about missiles and the Shias and then this and then that. It will be a much more peaceful Middle East because Israel won't.
My question is, there are people that come up here and tell me that 90% of the country is against the current regime. Do you believe that number?
90% of countries are against
90% want regime change. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100 is probably more. It should be more than that.
But what happens if it's not? What happens if it's only 30%?
It doesn't matter. If the United States doesn't want the regime, if Israel doesn't want that regime, and if the people of Iran don't want that regime, but because they've been suppressed,
No. What happens if it's only 30% of the people? Not Persians living in America. I'm talking about the people within those borders. Why would Trump... Go ahead.
So the people living within those borders that are 30%, okay. Well, the ones that have escaped, they shouldn't be counted for anymore? Are they not originally from that place anymore? They lose.
I don't see a lot of them going back to overthrow the government.
Well, because that would be like, okay, let me just jump off the building. I mean, that's stupid. That's not strategy. You know what I mean? So those people should get accounted for.
I just want to say, you're an Assyrian that you're so pro-Israel and
I'm not pro-Israel, and I'm not.
You're not pro-Israel. You just sat up here and said we should. Trump is doing this for Israel.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Does that you voted for Trump? You support Trump? Is that a good thing? If that's the case, is that a good thing in your eyes?
If it's a good thing, or a good thing for me, is having a regime change in Iran, and I'm happy that Trump is doing it.
And how does that affect you?
How does that affect me? It gives me a much more peaceful Middle East for Christians to exist in.
Tao says because what did he say? Because he understands the American interest, Dave. Yeah, but the problem is everyday Americans.
It's not about
nothing to do with
everyday Americans.
Yes, it is.
Everyday Americans are busy with the gas prices and cheaper this and cheaper that. That's fine. They'll get that. You understand, if we take over Iran with a regime change, what happens is our gas prices will probably become under $2. Under $2. I hope people understand that. And you'll have a much more peaceful 2030s, 2040s, 2050s for your children. Everything costs a price. Okay? You don't have to go to war. You don't have to lose your family. You're fighting with your pocket a little bit. We've been
But
facing
most
inflation for the
Americans
past
don't
4 years.
wait, I'm sorry. Most Americans don't think they are a threat to America.
And that's
Like,
fine.
we've heard it for 30 years that they are.
Yeah, so most Americans that don't think that, with all due respect, they are the stupid population.
Okay, well, tell me how they're an everyday or a threat to everyday Americans.
Iran is a threat to everyday Americans by taking over slowly. Okay, here's a perfect example.
Taking over what?
Okay. So, because I want to make a point earlier, you didn't allow me. In Detroit, there's a city called Dearborn. Okay? I'm a
Okay,
local
but changing the regime there is not going to remove Dearborn.
Okay, let me just. Well, I get that, but it's gonna stop the expansion of another Dearborn and another Dearborn and 10 other Dearborns and 20 other Dearborns, and wake up one day and it's 2050, 2060, 2070, and now you have a bunch of Dearborns and a bunch. Those are the sleeping cells. The people
Okay,
in Dearborn, the people in Dearborn behind closed doors were crying and weeping and mourning the death of the Ayatollah Khamenei.
Why do you think they haven't done more to overthrow the government?
Who? What are you talking about? What do you mean overthrow the
Who?
government? Who are you talking about right now specifically? Because you just said, why haven't they done enough to overthrow the government? Are you talking about the Iranians in Iran?
Who else would I be talking about? Just out of
Because
curiosity.
you were talking about Dearborn, so I thought you were jumping there.
Okay, so good answer. Why haven't they?
Because it's not the right time yet. They're seeing
Gotcha.
it's just not the right time yet. And I bet you anything, if there's a few more hits that United States and Israel have to do, that will give more confidence to the people to go out. And if Trump calls upon them to go out, they will go out. But it's got to be safe enough. It cannot be, hey, just jump off of a building. At the end of the
But
day,
you do
this is
understand
like
on day 3, Trump told them to go, right?
No,
No, I think you.
understand.
Okay.
I understand that, but they can't go right now while there's strikes happening, and it's just not the right time. That's just not how
Did you
do
see
it.
the crowd out there supporting or mourning the Ayatollah and celebrating the new one? Did you see those crowds?
Yeah, of course. I'll see those crowds, and those crowds are always going to be available. And that's the crowd that's willing
But
to.
they weren't afraid.
That's a crowd that's willing to jump off of a cliff or a building.
I'm so sorry.
Because
I've been told for a month that these people are willing to die for their cause.
Of course, both of them.
Okay.
The ones that.
All right, but then we go and see the crowds to mourn the Ayatollah. They weren't afraid to die. So what?
100%. They're not afraid of dying stupidly. The other ones, they don't want to just die stupidly. Okay, they're more civilized. These are the people that every July for the whole month they mourn the death of one of their imam, aka basically an ayatollah, and they hit themselves and they bleed, and they make their children do that. These are people that are brainwashed, that are told you die, you go to heaven, and you have 70 virgins. This is what you guys need to understand. Those are different animals.
Right.
That's why they've had an iron grip on the real Iranian Persian people for over 50 years now.
Do you think Donald Trump wants to follow through and get full regime change?
Yeah, absolutely. 100. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
But why is Donald Trump saying that they already got regime change? It's over. Why is Trump saying that?
What was that?
Donald Trump has said already they have regime change. It's done.
It's not done. I mean, Trump can say some things.
Well, he said it's done. He said
that's
it's
fine.
done.
He can say that. That's okay. That's why I told you I'm a Trump guy. But right now, what Trump is saying, a lot of the things, it's not there. When he said the war is over, it is not over. The war is still being held. Okay.
So what have you heard Trump or Vance or Rubio, Hegseth, General Kane, etc.? What have you heard them say that leads you to believe that they're going to follow through with regime change? Besides your feelings.
It's not my feelings. I'm not gonna. This is something.
But you have no facts to back you up. You have no fact. Well, prove me wrong. What have you heard them say, or what have you read or seen?
Well, the reason why they did this whole thing,
okay,
was because of the protests that were being held from November, December, January, etc. So that's the thing that really moved the needle, with Israel saying, "Hey, this is a perfect time to strike. This is the regime at its weakest. This is where we should go in and do it." Okay.
Can you answer me? I just want to. I don't pay attention every day. What is the most convincing thing you have heard anybody in this administration say that leads you to believe that they're going to follow through with regime change? All right, your own coffee cup.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, God.
I am confident they will do that, because that's what they talk about every day, is getting rid of the regime. Trump,
Wait, who is
Rubio, Vance, all of them.
Hello. Okay, so have you heard them say we need new leadership there, meaning somebody from that's not part of the current regime?
Yes, they're looking to speak to the right people. They've been doing that for the past month. Before
right,
the
but
war
that's
even
within the current. That's within the current regime, no?
No, prior to that too. Current, if they find the right guy, maybe they'll do that with striking a proper deal, or someone totally different that's out of the regime, 100%. Trump's biggest thing, why he didn't want Reza, he doesn't think Reza Pahlavi is the right person, which he is, because he's saying, oh, he hasn't lived there for the past X amount of years. Yeah, because he couldn't. He was exiled, him and his dad. How do you want him to just go
Why
back
were they
to
exiled?
Iran? Why were they exiled? Okay, perfect question. The same reason right now we're trying to get rid of this regime that is actually deserving of getting rid of. Unfortunately, the reason why they got rid of the Shah of Iran is due to the fact that he was standing up for his own people, and he wanted to be competitive in the marketplace.
I heard a different story on why. I heard a different story, but whatever. All right, Winston, where are you from?
New Jersey, 12th congressional district.
All right. Did you? Are you an elected official, or are you running for office?
Running midterm for the midterms.
Awesome. And are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Neither. I'm nonpartisan in my state.
So you're running as an independent?
Well, we don't call it independent in New Jersey. It's called a nonpartisan. Same thing, though.
Really?
Small I, small I, not capital I, because there are several independent parties that are official parties.
Oh, okay. And are you running for a House seat or something different?
House seat, New Jersey's 12th congressional district.
Awesome. And can you tell us where? Like, is that like Brigantine, Atlantic? Like, what part of Jersey?
That is mid-state, hugging the Delaware River across from Washington. Well, we actually have Washington Crossing as well, but basically, this is Somerset, Middlesex, Mercer. Are you familiar with those areas?
Yes. So just very bluntly, do you have a chance to win?
It is a very low probability unless, as I'm campaigning for campaign finance reform.
Right.
And there is a bill called HR 415, the STOP Act, which is kind of central to my campaign. It has 0 co-sponsors. This is the second time it's been introduced in Congress by a representative from Pennsylvania, Brendan Boyle, 2nd Congressional District. And basically, it takes the Hatch Act, which came about in the 1940s, and actually attaches it to political figures. So no fundraising at all is possible while you are a sitting member of Congress.
But how do you outlaw all of that with so much dark money? Like
You're
I
not
think it's
allowed.
so.
You're not allowed. That bill, you can look it up, HR
Right.
415, and it basically
Right.
says in very plain language, while you are a sitting member of Congress, you are not allowed to raise money directly.
Yeah, but like, look at the bill where they're saying about insider trading, right? It would ban, I
I'm
believe.
not campaigning on that. I'm campaigning
I
on.
understand. I'm using it as an example
It's
that
not.
you
It's not
say.
analogous. It's not analogous to HR
Okay, but
415.
it's not impossible to work around what you're saying, right? It's so easy to say, well, you're not allowed to accept money, but
So
can a
let me tell
family
you how.
member?
Let me tell you how it operates and why it would be effective.
Just very simple. Can a family member? I want to move on to the war. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
get it
actually,
understanding.
if you worked for me and I was in the house, you could
Right?
go raise the money, but I couldn't be participating with that. But you, as my
Okay.
staff, could probably get away with getting checks
Okay.
thrown into
Well,
my
I mean,
campaign.
no offense to anybody that's supporting that bill. It doesn't do much. It's just like the insider
No,
trading.
wait, hold on a
Trading.
second. You haven't heard. You
Go ahead.
haven't done your research. Don't jump to
I've never
conclusions.
even heard of it. I'm just telling you, if the bill is saying that if you're in office, you cannot accept money, that doesn't stop your family members or your people that work for you from accepting it. It's just like insider trading, like I said.
You have
Regardless,
not
doesn't
done the
matter.
research to jump to that conclusion. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Well, then tell me right now, does it prevent family members or people that work for that person from accepting money? You already answered no.
But
Correct?
there's a different thing that's operating with exchange of that money. When I accept money as a member of
Okay.
Congress, I have an agreement with the person directly. I'm accountable to them because they gave me the money because we have the relationship. If they give the money to somebody else, there is no guarantee that I have to.
I'm so sorry. Have you done the research on Hunter Biden and Ukraine? Like get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
So you don't like
Are
the
you
bill. You don't like the bill.
I don't get it. Once again, it doesn't really matter what I like or don't like. I'll compliment you for running for office. Okay, anybody that does that, it takes courage to do that. But for you to come up and say this is a great bill,
It's a
where
great bill.
it's in, okay, great, and that's your opinion. But reality is, anybody that is close to that person in office can get money. Look at Hunter Biden, right? I mean, that's just reality. Regardless, I wish you the best of luck in regards to that. Can I ask you just one question before we get to the war? Who do you align with more, Trump or Harris?
I align with Bernie Sanders.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Interesting. Do you support this war? Do you support Donald Trump taking out or helping take out the Ayatollah?
I think that what we've done here is violate so many international laws that have to do
Like
with
what?
war and humanities. I mean,
Oh, hell yeah.
and human rights, and that is not an opinion. We'll have to deal
Okay.
with that as a country going forward. And I
So
also don't
how do we
agree
deal
with the
with it?
United States attacking countries first strike. So
Okay. So
what
is it
we
a
did
good thing or a bad? Okay, it's a bad thing. Okay. Elaborate on that.
So most of the people who are participating in these panels, we only have public reporting. And there are semi-insider folks, ex-CIA, who are talking about this. We can
But
follow
that guy
them.
wanted Trump dead. He was responsible for a lot of Americans dying, no?
I thought I was answering your question.
But
So
so far it doesn't make sense. So
we're all working with public reporting, and we all know that truth in public reporting is, what basically people are choosing the narrative that fits their value system, right? That's what people are doing because
give me great qualities about the Ayatollah. What did you like most about him?
I don't have to know anything about him to know that him being killed by our country is not right, especially under those conditions where he lost his life.
What about when bin Laden died? Was that a good thing or a bad thing for America?
I don't know why we're
Exactly.
going to that. Why are we going there?
Just answer me.
It's the same thing. It's the same
Wait,
thing. There could be
hold on,
somebody-
Marius, stop, please. Why is the answer? Of course, it's a good
So
thing.
according to
Okay.
public reporting on who he was, because I didn't know him personally, but according
Okay.
to the predominant reporting about who he was, yes, he
Okay.
was an enemy of the United States, and he faced
So was it good or
accountability.
bad that he died?
The mission
Was
was
it
justified.
okay? So why is the Ayatollah better than Bin Laden?
The Ayatollah.
I hope to God you're not getting on a debate stage with your opponents because you have no shot up there. But go ahead. Why is the Ayatollah?
The Ayatollah was not direct. Iran was not directly involved with any hostilities with the United States that they initiated.
Bullshit. And you know that. How does Trump get out of this war? What do you want to see from him before he gets out?
So he's going to continue to drag down the country. Okay, if he puts soldiers in the Strait of Hormuz or on any land proximal to
No, I don't want to hear you bitch and moan about Trump. I want to hear a solution, a plan on if
there is no military solution for the United States to come out of this. Okay, it has to be.
What is the best way? What is the best way?
We're going to lose all of our position in the Middle East. That's what's going to happen. It's not the best way. The best way was for Trump not to have been elected.
What kind of
Well, guess
answer?
what? He did. No, what are you talking about? What kind of answer? He's a politician. It is what it is. No biggie.
I would love to debate him.
Don't get frustrated. Oh, okay. Hold on. Here, let me just take care of you. Do you think America would be better if Harris won?
I believe that we would have been better off in terms of like following international law and following a international rules-based set of standards for conducting international foreign policy.
Of course. Why did you vote for Harris?
Of course.
All right, and let's take the war out of it, right? There'll be time to assess what happened and how it ends and stuff like that. So let's forget about that for a second. If I talked to you back in October of 2024, what was your pitch to people on why Harris was better?
So if you looked at her background in public service,
okay,
education, there has not been a candidate for that office or a president with a better academic and professional public service background.
I hope you're not making the argument that she was more qualified for the position, more qualified than the person that already held the position. Is that your argument?
I gave you I qualified my answer. I said, in terms of her academic, the things that she achieved in academia and also in public service, and even years, if you want to quantify years in public service, absent military service, there wasn't another president or presidential candidate that could stack up what she was bringing to the office.
Why do you think that she was the candidate for 107 days, and the more and more America heard from her, whether it was a CNN town hall, the debate, whatever, the more and more America heard from her, the more and more America hated her or disliked her? Why do you think that is?
Because she was equivocating on things like Palestine and leftist, the leftist platform. So there were things that I think the public wanted to hear that were more Bernie-like. And by the way, that whole 107 days was, to me, it was a DNC engineered way of avoiding having a primary where she probably would not have been chosen as the the candidate to
To be fair, the Democrats don't like democracy. And let me explain why. In 2016,
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Oh, okay, great. All right, very good. But when we talk about if there was a President Harris, do you think that the border would be more secure? Of course not. Right? We know that, right? Because the Democrats are for open borders. Do you think what would be better in this country if Harris was our president?
So the immigration laws that we have on the book are the laws that are being used to manage the border, and the funding priority for the border is what allows the different operational levels to be employed for managing the borders. So until you change the laws, there's plenty of latitude to have one administration be better at it than the other. The overloading of the we have this really weird thing in that immigration.
You're sounding just like Harris. You're rambling on.
Immigration judges
and not much is there.
Immigration judges belong to the executive branch. They don't belong to Article 3. And this creates this allows the U.S. president to basically play around with what happens in terms of staffing the immigration court, creating backlogs that leave people sitting in the United States waiting for their court date before they get a removal order, right? So the way that the immigration system is set up, it's set up to be politicized and weaponized so that you and I can fight about it.
Sure. And that last sentence is correct. But why is the border more secure under Trump than Biden and Harris?
We only have public reporting to say that that's true.
Okay, so
we're not insiders, and we don't have, and we also know that the Trump administration is playing around.
Okay, let me ask the question a different way. Why is the Border Patrol number saying that the border is way more secure? Do you think they're lying?
I think that under this administration, we get less truthful government data.
Okay.
Than in prior administrations, and they've been bragging about that.
Okay. I find just about everything you're saying quite comical. Are you pro or anti ICE and Border Patrol?
I'm for abolishing ICE and putting something else there that that supports rule of law and the constitutional protections that we have.
What is ICE's job?
So we already have ICE incidents of unaliving Americans. That's
what are their job? What is their job? I'm sorry. Just very directly, what is their job?
Their job is enforcement of immigration law with respect to removing individuals from the country.
Are you against that?
I said I would abolish ICE and put something.
Are you against their job is to get illegal immigrants out of the country? Are you for or against that?
I am for that.
Okay, so why would we abolish
that particular agency, not that body, the way that they're constituted and governed? It's already
okay. So if we just rename it Winston's Army, and they do the same exact job, would you be okay with that?
You're oversimplifying the
okay
for removal.
All right, but you are okay with illegal immigrants getting deported, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so you just don't like ICE because why? Because of the way they're handling their jobs now, or something else?
there's an extreme amount of constitutional violations in how they're conducting themselves and collateral damage to lawful citizens and residents in the country.
Wait, hold on one second. What is this? Host doesn't like guests with critical thinking and thinks everything needs to be a debate. That's fucking funny. Okay, so if you were a mayor of a city, would you approve ICE coming in to your city?
I have so first of all, I live in a city where we have that construct and we're fine here.
Are you okay with ICE if you were a mayor of a city? You have a lot of violence there, violent crime, shootings, etc. And Trump said, "I want to put 20,000 National Guard there." Would you accept that?
No.
May I ask why?
So we have law enforcement within our municipalities, cities, and states. And there's a hierarchy there of law and order. And so the federal government getting involved in state law enforcement is something that a governor should be requesting and not forced on the state.
Gotcha. So just imagine if you're a governor or a mayor and you have violence in your city and you have a tool in your back pocket that you can use to get 90 days of less people dying and less violent crime. How does it make sense ever to turn that down, right? Anytime the National Guard goes in...
Why are you saying turn that down? Governors call up the National Guard, not the federal government.
Okay, so if you were a governor, you would say, yes, of course. I would take a 90-day Band-Aid to save lives of people that voted for me. Right? It's common sense.
The governor controls the National Guard, not the President of the United States.
Okay. So are you okay? Would you call them in yourself?
Of course. If the law enforcement capacity of the state is overwhelmed, or a city is overwhelmed, and you need to surge law enforcement, and you don't have the available bodies, you have to go to the National Guard.
But why would a governor? But what I don't get is why would a governor ever reject help like that? It's an automatic
because it doesn't follow the rules. It doesn't follow the rules. The governor.
What is against the rules? The president is offering it to the governor.
And there's no rules broken. To decide whether it's needed. You're saying that because the governor doesn't take it, he's refusing. When in fact the governor's making a measured decision whether they need it or not. That's different.
Sure, but it's a fact, right? It has been proven in multiple cities that when the National Guard goes to a city, crime goes down. Right? That's a given.
So you're using statistics of National Guard present under the control of the governor to justify accepting it from the president, where the governor is not.
No, it doesn't matter if the governor accepted it or not. Okay, that has no factor on if crime goes down or not. You realize that, right?
You're using a logical fallacy here, right?
Okay,
we're talking about.
Hold on one second. Hold on, Winston. Hold on one second. Don't get upset. Okay, very simple question. When the National Guard is in a city, crime goes down. Yes or no?
I'm not answering that as a yes or no question because you're trying to use that to conflate whether they're under the control of the government.
Why wouldn't you answer that?
Because
it's obviously yes, crime goes down.
We're debating whether the National Guard should come under the governor or the president.
No.
That was your original premise.
Okay, let's start over. When the National Guard is present, crime always goes down. That's a fact. Cannot dispute that.
I will add
So
to that.
hold on. Why would a governor ever reject that?
There are a lot of political inputs that go into making the decision to call in the National Guard. It's very disruptive.
The only one is because Donald Trump wanted to do it. Right? So just imagine you're a governor.
You're making it a binary choice, and it's not a binary choice.
Okay, once again, you're a governor. People in your state or in a particular city, they're dying every day because of gun violence, etc. Why would you not take taken out to fix it? Doesn't make sense. Why would you ever reject the National Guard? Go ahead.
It's not. You keep saying reject the National Guard.
I'm so sorry. Pritzker rejected it.
The right question is
governor
why wouldn't the governor call up the National Guard? That's the question.
Okay, so why aren't they doing it? Why are they waiting for Trump to call, to offer, and then reject it? You could go with that question as well. I have no problem with that. Go answer your own question. Why aren't Democratic governors calling up the National Guard themselves? That's question one. Then Trump calls and offers it, and they reject it. Make it make sense.
So I don't know how many of these states you're trying to roll into this one size fits all question, but each case is different. But the obvious answer is that a governor doesn't call up the National Guard because they don't see the need for it, because there's also consequences for calling up the National Guard.
Like what? Let's go with one of the results of the National Guard being in a city is crime goes down, less Americans die. Go ahead. You could take the next one.
It's disruptive to normal civic life to have men with guns roaming the streets in military uniforms with military assets.
But less Americans are dying. There's less crime.
The reason why they're not calling it up is because they believe they could manage it with the existing civilian law enforcement. That's the overriding decision. They're not choosing to allow people to just...
The crime numbers go down when the National Guard is there.
So the trends for crime have been going down steadily. So I don't see... As a matter of fact, I think from the public reporting, Trump is not sending the National Guard to the states or ICE to the states that have the highest crime. He's sending them to blue states, which you seem to be focusing on, to the exclusion of red states.
He sent it to Louisiana. Crime. Louisiana is a red state. Now, he sent it to a blue city in New Orleans. So that's a lie.
I said, according to public reporting.
Okay, that's publicly available.
I am not the expert here. We all are living off of public reporting.
Obviously.
You're not an expert either. You live off of public reporting too.
I'm a dumb fuck.
I said you're living off of public reporting too. We all do.
Okay, so can you just answer the simple question? Very easy. Why would a governor reject National Guard going to a city where lives are saved?
My answer is the same. The governor believes that they have the manpower in their civilian law enforcement ranks to manage the situation.
Sure, and that's fine to believe it. But even if you believe that, okay, and you should be confident in your state police, city police, etc. I have no problem with that belief. But you have a tool where gun violence and lives go down and lives are saved. So why not take it?
There's no epidemic of crime that requires the National Guard happening in this country right now. Not in any state. Even the red states that have high crime.
In front of the people that voted for you, or maybe they voted for another party, and saying, look, I do have this tool that would save lives, but I don't want to use it because the orange man is bad. That's why the Democratic Party They will never
That's
be
not
in
my
the White
answer.
House
That's not my
again.
answer. That's not my answer.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me more.
I would have data to present to the public to state that we are managing loss of life with respect to, criminality in the state. I would show that I've improved on my predecessor. And then if the voters don't like the data that I can present to show that my administration, mayor or governor, is better than predecessors and I'm trending positive, then I would expect them to vote me out. But
That
it would
is
be
too
data
funny.
driven, not emotionally driven or party politics driven.
Sure, let's go with that. So let's say you're the mayor of a city and you're doing a great job and the murder rate is down 30% year over year in your first year. That's great. Kudos. But if you bring in the National Guard, there's still going to be less death, right?
No.
So why not?
I disagree with
No?
you. Because the National Guard is not sitting inside of buildings where loss of life may occur. They're not inside of like the nightclub where a fight might break out. That's not where you're stationing them.
Wait, hold on. You're no. Anywhere the National Guard has gone, crime has gone down. There's no way around it. So your argument was I would bring charts and show people that I'm doing better than the person before me. Okay, great. Let's give it to you. Let's say you are. So hold on. Your violent crimes are down 30%. Why not for the next 90 days have it go down even more? Make it make sense. Go ahead.
You'd have to basically look at why crime is going down. Is it because normal civic life has been upset?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. When the National Guard is there, your crime is going down even more.
But if civic life is turned upside down and nobody wants to actually participate in civic life, that's a problem. That's a quality of life issue. You're willing to throw that away just to have just to play army, it seems.
But even CNN was interviewing people in DC and they were saying, I feel safe going out at night. The restaurant, the small business owners were loving it. It's only dumb political hacks like yourself.
So why do we have to get into ad hominems? Why do we have to get into ad hominems?
Okay, fair enough. Just very bluntly, you should not run for office for anything. I don't care what it's for. Anybody.
But I didn't come here for permission from you to
once again, and I'm glad you recognize you have no chance of winning. And I can see why. Right? And people like you that want to sit there and defend essentially more crime.
I didn't defend
it makes
more
zero
crime.
sense.
I told you, I gave you examples where crime was going down and mayors and governors were presenting data to show the public. You're putting words in my mouth to validate what you're saying.
Winston, it's either you're just playing dumb or really are dumb. It does not matter if crime is going down.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Everybody take note that he says it doesn't matter that crime is going down.
Winston, let me finish the second part of that statement. If crime is going down and you're a new mayor, great job. But you could have it go down more with a National Guard present. Do you not get that?
I understand that is possible, but I wouldn't make that choice.
Okay, so why? You have a chance to save lives in your state or city. Why would you turn that down?
I answered this question a few times. I said when you put military,
it did make sense.
It makes sense. You just don't like the answer. When you put the military on the street with their armored
lives are saved.
Paramilitary vehicles,
lives are saved.
It can disrupt the normal flow of civic life, and some people will stay away from engaging in public life. It erodes the quality of life. And some people may love that the military is in their neighborhood, but there's probably a good percentage of people who don't like it and might curtail some of their social engagement.
Do you agree that the more law enforcement presence, the less crime there is? Do you agree with just that overall concept? Yes?
Sure. But they don't have to be wearing military uniforms and have, paramilitary vehicles.
So, but why is that of importance to you? That doesn't make any sense.
Because the military is different than civil law enforcement. They're two different things.
Only a Democrat thinks like this. I swear to God. And whatever just think about this. You came up here, you were celebrating a bill you were pushing. That was
I'm not pushing this bill. I didn't write it.
Okay, but you were celebrating the fact that it's a great bill. It was garbage. And then your
You don't know anything about it.
I'm sorry. You summarized and said once you're in office, you cannot accept money. However, the bill does not prevent your family members or people that work in your office or under you or for you from accepting money. That's
I didn't
bullshit.
write the bill. I didn't write the bill.
I understand, but you celebrated it.
I understand how it works. You don't.
Okay. If I am in Congress, I get elected, can my family members accept money on my behalf? AKA Hunter
if your
Biden
family
in
member
Ukraine.
accepts money from a donor, the donor cannot hold the politician accountable for anything because the donor did not give the money directly to the candidate. That's the system we have now.
So what? Okay, so why did Hunter Biden get millions from
You're
Ukraine?
hung up on the mechanics of the Hunter Biden thing. I'm not. I'm talking about this bill and the reality of the system.
But that could be anybody. That could be
correct.
Would it be better if I said Don Jr. or Ivanka Trump, just so you don't get your feelings hurt?
Same thing.
Okay.
The way that donor obligation works is I give the money directly to the candidate. They owe me. If I give it to the wife, that's not the direct connection that gets the obligation cemented. That's the way that the bill works.
Dumb as fuck. So you're saying whenever China or Ukraine gave millions to Hunter, they didn't have expectations of what his father would do?
Same answer I gave you before.
Who are you running against? I'm going to donate to their campaign.
I don't know who they are because the
you don't know who your opponents are? Oh, because of primary. Okay, so what race is this?
New Jersey's 12th congressional district.
Okay, because is there any chance you even win the primary?
Once again, you demonstrate that you don't know how government's organized. State, federal, nothing.
Just yes or no. Is there any chance that
I don't have a primary?
Oh, okay. So come November, you'll be the third person on the ballot, and there will probably be others. Well, I'm going to donate to whoever is going to beat your ass when it comes to this election because you're a joke. You come up here pushing a bill that does nothing in reality. You're celebrating that, not pushing it. And your answers in regards to if you're a mayor or a governor, safety for the people that that are under you, whether they voted for you or not, it's mind blowing. And you guys are the problem. You're the type that hates this country, right? You whine and bitch about Donald Trump.
I didn't whine or bitch about Donald Trump.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not one time.
But I'm sorry. You sat here and told me that Harris would be better for this country.
I said that Harris would follow international rules-based order. That's what I said.
And then whenever I said, why would Harris be better for this country? You went on a long... Hold on 1 second. You went on a...
rules-based order.
No. Okay, you did say that. And then whenever I said, how would it be better here at home? You decided to ramble on for 10 minutes about how Harris is more qualified for a job that Donald Trump already had. How does that make sense?
I said her academic credentials and her public service, with the exception of military, quantified.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Any previous president right? That's what I said.
Sure, no problem. Miss Cham says you're pretty neutral on Trump. Give me a couple things Trump has done well this term. Miss Cham, do you want to come up and help your boy out? He's pretty neutral on Trump. Really? Did you just hear that sigh? You can't name one thing that Donald Trump has done well? Is that neutral, Cham? Is that neutral, yes or no?
Donald Trump violates the U.S. Constitution every day. So, no, I'm struggling to find anything good that he's done.
He hasn't done anything well?
I said I don't find anything that he's done because he's very busy violating the U.S. Constitution on a daily basis.
All right, Cham, you're doing good. He's running for office, Annie. Why does he creep you out? He's running for office. So why should people vote for you?
Why should people vote for me?
Yeah. You would think you would have that pretty much down pat by now, but guess not. Go ahead. Why should people vote for you?
I already explained what HR 415, the STOP Act, is.
So people should vote for you because other people are trying to pass a bill? How does that make sense?
Both parties are donor captured. So when you vote Republican or Democrat, you're basically getting the same outcome.
Wait, but you're not passing that bill, right? You have nothing to do with it. You just said that.
That's
so
right.
why should people vote for you?
Because if
I'm giving you a chance to say whatever you want on why you're so great, the floor is yours. Go. Why should people vote for you?
Because we all want to get money out of politics. More than 70% of Democrats, Republicans, and Independents. And I'm running on an HR 415 centered platform that can get money out of politics based on that bill.
How are you going to help the people that are under you? Whoever votes for you, how are you going to help them every day?
So a House member has roughly 600 to 800,000 constituents in their district. So one of the things that I would implement is a mobile app that brings basically gives you a digital town hall so that you don't have to struggle to get in touch with your member of Congress. So there's constituent services, and then there's how you want your member of Congress to vote. And there's so much, I would say, friction between the constituents and getting their voices heard. So I would eliminate that friction by setting up something equivalent to customer service with a service level agreement that people can depend on for getting responses from their representative in Congress.
But everybody has that. Everybody has a website where it says contact us.
I'm not talking about a website. I'm talking about a digital town hall mobile app where you can interact.
Facebook. Okay.
I'm not talking about Facebook. I'm talking about a dedicated New Jersey 12 only constituent services application that holds the office accountable for returning no form letters, because a lot of people complain right now about getting form letters or just being ghosted by the current House.
Who is Miss Cham? Is that your secretary or something? Because she has been complimenting you.
I don't know anybody in your live. I'm not coordinated with anybody that's following along.
Do you have a campaign manager?
I'm a single candidate operation. I don't have any support staff, including no volunteers.
He's running as basically an independent. No party. How did you say it earlier? How did you describe it?
In New Jersey, we're called nonpartisans. Other states
nonpartisans.
Something else. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What separates you from the other people that will run, or the person that's in charge, whoever has that seat now. Who has the seat now?
Bonnie Watson Coleman. She's retiring after, I guess, 12 terms, 24 years. She's
How
in
old
her
is she?
80s. She's in her
Oh, well, that I think that's a good thing. And
late
there's,
80s.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. But
So
from her, because you can't really say who you're running against yet, but what separates you from Bonnie?
So since Citizens United, Michael Steele, when Obama was in office, created something called a call center. And members of the Republican Party have to spend at least 4 hours in the call center down the street from the Capitol, raising money from whoever leadership tells them to call. That's the system. It has matured. The Democrats have copied it. Our members of Congress sit in call centers roughly 4 hours a day. When it got started, it was around $18,000 per day per member dues. There's a few notable members on the Democratic and Republican side who have opted out. AOC, in her first year in office, did not sit in the call center. She rebelled. Instead, she raised her member dues from her constituents back in the Bronx. But since then, she's fallen in line. The donors are the same donors, Republican or Democrat. If you run as a nonpartisan or true independent, you're not allowed in the call centers. You are exempt from call center mandatory duty. And that means that you get to work 100% of the time for your constituents, and you don't have to divide your time between the donors and your constituents, lying to them about who you take money from, because you can take money from defense contractors or fossil fuel in the call center. It goes into a party committee account,
Okay.
and then it gets.
All right, I got one more question. But
that's the difference between.
I gotcha. I don't know how many people would be in your district. Let's just say it's 700,000.
It's 650,000.
Okay, 600. If all 650,000 people listen to this conversation, do you think more or less people would vote for you?
So these lives are designed for like rapid response and not a full fleshing out of topics, right?
Just more or less. I'll be honest. Your answers are weak. Your reasoning is dumb, and you have zero personality.
Listen,
Go
I've
ahead.
actually already talked to people in New Jersey 12. 100% of the people I talk to.
I'm not saying that you haven't. The question is if all 650,000 people got to listen to this whole conversation, do you think you would get more or less votes? Regardless of the reason.
I don't know what you mean. More? You mean 51% against 49? What do you mean by more?
Let's say right now 200,000 people are ready to vote for you.
Yeah.
Okay. If everybody listened to this conversation, would your vote total go up or down?
So I wouldn't expect anybody to make a decision based on what's happening here. I have a website, and then I have like on the ground presence, right? Gotcha. Who are you expecting to make a decision from your platform and this very condensed presentation of anything?
Sure. Based off your answers, non-personality, you have zero personality. You do not make sense. I would expect it to go down a lot. Point blank.
Well, fortunately, you're not a fortune teller, right? That's not your wheelhouse.
That's a great response. Do you think your answers made sense on why not to call in a National Guard, etc.? Do you think you made sense?
If you could put what you're saying into a chatbot, an AI chatbot, and my responses, your responses and some of your loaded questions, they would be red flagged, not my responses. I've qualified
loaded questions.
Responses. What's that?
Loaded question. How is it a loaded question? Why
you
not
have to go
allow?
Listen, you have to go look up what loaded questions mean.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think you have a personality?
I'm not running on personality.
Well, listen, I'm
running
say
on
that,
pragmatism.
But you could say Donald Trump has a personality, right? You might not like it, Obama, personality, right? Even Bush, I mean, Joe Biden, he was, whatever. Joe Biden was a different story. But I think part of politics is you have to have a personality.
That's
And
what's ruining. That's what's ruining politics. That people
is
believe
personality.
you need to have a personality. I remember they said that George Bush was great if everybody felt they could go and have a beer with him. So I reject this premise that a qualified or a rational candidate that can actually serve the public needs to have a personality. That's what I'm campaigning against. Personality politics.
Would you put this conversation on your website to show off how great you are to the people you want to vote from?
I mean, it's in its raw form. All these things normally get edited down so that
no, just as is. I'll upload it to YouTube, share the link with you, maybe put it on your website, and just say, hey guys, what do you think about this conversation?
So you think that I should put it up in its raw form where it doesn't have any like flow or context? We're like doing a bunch of context switching. You're saying that I should assault, like this is not produced. This is just raw.
Right. And that it's authentic. And I think people would appreciate it that way. I think cutting up any.
So I have somebody did a, let me see. From Dirt We Grow did a interview with me, and it's pretty raw out there. Okay, it's pretty raw, and I didn't object to it. It was her decision how she produced it. She gave me the link, and I understood that it was authentic. In its rough form, she cut out dead space and maybe some repetition, and I want to come across as authentic. So I'm okay with that. But this raw form right here.
Hold on. I triple dog dare you to put it up. I don't even want my username on it. I want nothing to do with it. It's not like I'm trying to get clout or something like that. I don't give two fucks. Just put the whole conversation up, black out my name, and just ask your people for feedback. That's it. Just say, hey, what do you think about this conversation? Because I think people thought whenever I said to do this that I want followers or something like that. No. Black out all my information, put it up as is. Okay, so they can't even find me. And just so you know, the box next to you, that's also my username. So black that out. I want nothing to do with it. And just ask for honest feedback on how this conversation went. And then you can come back here and share.
So let me ask you this: Is it possible? Is it possible to get a transcript from this? Like just the text.
I mean, no. The closest to it is whenever I put it on YouTube. For some reason, sometimes the words show up, sometimes not. But I'm sure somebody could put it together. I'm not.
So
I'm a moron.
I would take your challenge on the transcript. 100% of the words. I would take up your challenge on the transcript. So if you can get the transcript, or if you want to get the video to me, I'll find a way to get the transcript, and I would feed it to AI.
Why not just put the video? Wait, what are you doing? How do we go from I want it to be raw and authentic to I just want the transcript and I'm going to put it through AI?
Because you want feedback, and so you're saying that
no. I really don't give a fuck. You should want the feedback. You should want it. What are you doing? Who gives a fuck what I think?
This is your idea. This is your idea.
Right, but is it not a good idea to get feedback from the people you're seeking their vote from? Like, doesn't that make sense?
Absolutely, it does.
So why not put it up? Okay, don't take me out of it. Black my usernames out, both the big box and the box next to you.
Go ahead.
I'm not doing it to get followers, but I think it would be.
Listen, if it gets you followers, listen. I
don't give two fucks about followers. But if let's just say right now you have no chance to win. Okay, I still compliment the fuck out of you for running. However, maybe if you get better at presenting yourself in a more likable way with ideas that make sense, then you have a chance, right? So I could care less about the followers. It doesn't make sense to
How
me.
about this? You know what? I need 250 signatures to get on the ballot.
Okay.
So that's the first milestone that I need to get to even be in the running here. If I'm not going to be a write-in candidate.
Okay. Okay, so we'll get you the
So you're
signatures.
you're saying that I probably won't even get the 250 signatures, right?
No, of course. I could, of course. I'm not saying you can't get. There's a big difference between getting 250 signatures,
Right.
and getting the majority of an area of this country with 650,000 people to vote for you. There's a big difference.
Remember, there's going to be at least 3 candidates if I'm on the ballot. At least 3. There could be more.
Okay, so the fact that I know that you haven't even gotten 250 signatures yet, now I really know you have no shot. However,
Okay, all right.
okay, you can't even get 250. I could get 250 signatures. What the fuck are you talking about?
So you don't even know if I've stepped outside my door to go get them yet. But you're saying that because I don't have them yet, you already know the future. Once again, the fortune teller.
Regardless,
we can't constrain the fortune teller in you.
Okay. Once again, it's not just that. It is the way that you come across, your personality, your answers, your ideas, the things that you came up to brag about, a bill that you're not even passing
I don't know
yourself.
why you keep saying bragging. I'm just relating facts.
I said, no. I said, what are you running on? And that was your first go-to answer.
That's what distinguishes me from the current, whatever the field is going to be. I am not part of the Democratic and Republican donor capture in Congress. I'm not part of that.
Yeah, if I were you, I would not run on that.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's why we are where we are, right? No,
you're right. That is the answer. That's why we are where we are.
Right, but even you came up, you talked about the bill that you were talking about. Instantly, anybody with a brain should say that's a bullshit bill. It's just like the insider trading bill, and you know that.
No, it's
what's
not
different? Well, it's different.
It has nothing to do with trading. That's why.
Okay, very good. But the insider trading bill says if you're in Congress, you cannot trade in the stock market. However, it does not stop your husband or wife or girlfriend or kids or cousins or staff members from doing it. And that's the same thing that your bill does, right? It prevents the person in office from doing it, but everybody else can.
So you're using Hunter Biden as your proxy.
No. Forget fuck Hunter Biden. Am I wrong in what I just said?
Listen, if you have, what is it?
Am I wrong in what I just said? Yes or no?
It doesn't come without risk, legal risk, right? Criminal risk. If you do that, if you have a family member, right, accepting money to influence the politician in the family,
sure,
that
happens all the time. And there's no way your bill stops it, or that bill. It's not your bill. There's no way that bill stops it.
There's a different law
and you know that.
There's a different law to discourage that. So this bill is not trying to solve that problem.
Discourage, not going to stop. Of course.
Right.
Right. You're not supposed to jaywalk, but people do it all the time. Right. There's a lot of things that it's not encouraged, but nobody's really going to stop it. And that's reality.
Listen, you have to look into HR 415 if you want to understand it in order to say that it's bullshit.
I don't need to understand. If I am working in Congress, I cannot accept funds. However,
so the entire
hold on. Is it true that anybody can accept it on my behalf? Yes, they can.
Not legally. Not legally.
Okay, so if somebody wants to pay me in Bitcoin, Is there anybody to stop me?
As I said before, these are crimes you're describing. If people want to take that criminal,
yeah, how about that? Well, what do you go arrest Hunter Biden? How about you start there?
I
Go
said,
ahead.
if people
Respond.
want to take criminal risk, it doesn't scale to the money that this bill is trying to drain out of the system.
I got you.
There's
You know
going to be
what?
some people. There's
Sure.
going to be some people who, want to flirt with criminality and get
Of course.
money under the table, Bitcoin or family member, but it won't scale to what this bill is trying to extinguish.
Sure. I'm just telling you, my advice is if somebody comes up and throws questions at you and says, what are you running on or what makes you great? One, get a personality. Two, do not start
As
with
I
that
mentioned,
bill.
if I get a personality because you told me to, that would make me inauthentic, right? So I'm going to stay authentic.
So you're authentically boring? Do you think that you come off as somebody that catches people's attention? Do you think you do that?
What I'm trying
That's
to do is present information, okay,
Right.
that basically changes what people's perception is of how government works. That's not a personality driven endeavor.
Do you think
It's
it
just
hurts to have
factual.
a personality as you deliver the information you want out
You're
there?
the one who's all hung up on personality. I already told you I am
Unfortunately,
not.
that's a big part of politics, unfortunately.
And we will see with my candidacy how that plays out. I'm not hung up on personality. Personality is that's the elixir that politicians are using so that they can bait and switch.
Right.
I'm not coming across to try to be some sort of darling or sweetheart. I'm just here with information about how government works.
But even without a personality, your answers to most questions are asinine. Right? The National Guard thing, that was terrible.
Listen, the National Guard exchange that we had means that you don't understand federalism. So you think it's a win for you, and I don't.
What do you mean it's a win for me? No, it's a win for the people that are within that city or state. Less people are dying.
No. You were trying to make a point,
Okay.
and you were using hypotheticals.
But we don't have to use hypotheticals. It has happened in multiple U.S. cities.
Yeah,
Where
but we
Trump-
have state rights.
Okay.
So Trump has to defer to the governors.
Sure, not saying you're wrong there, but why would and we're going back to the question.
No, we don't have
but
to
the
go back
question-
to that topic. I already
Right.
answered it, and you don't like
Right,
my
and
answer.
do you think it makes sense?
It only has to make sense to the people in that state and the governor.
Okay, so are
It
you
doesn't
going to
have
put
to make
this?
sense to somebody outside that state.
No, does it make sense to the people within that city? People are dying. Trump has an idea to save lives, and my governor and or mayor are saying no.
Those governors and those mayors are accountable to the people, and they can vote them out. That's how the system works.
Smart. So, are you going to put this video on your website? Yes or no?
So you give me the raw video.
I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and you do with it what you please. I don't want any followers from it. Don't think I'm doing it for clout. Black out my names. I don't care.
So
Okay, but my advice to you is put it on your website. Ask your people for feedback. Fuck my feedback. Okay, forget me. All right, and I think you're going to hear a lot of eye-opening things. Not only the ideas, not only the personality, not only the presentation, okay? It is what it is. But I dare you to do that. And I think it'll be good. Maybe you get 2% of the vote this time. And if you maybe get better ideas and a better way of presenting them, who knows? Maybe down the road you win.
So how
you're not
will
a
this
bad
work?
dude.
How are you going to get
the
link to? How are you going to get the link to me?
I will put it on YouTube, and I will message you the link. Okay, I'm not going to harass you and ask you if you put it on your website, but if you do, I go live every night at 1 a.m. and I would be so intrigued to hear what your people say. Forget me, forget anybody else in the comments. but I cannot see many people within your state watching that video and them saying to themselves, "I must vote for this guy." That's just 100% honest.
That's fine.
Do you disagree? Do you really think that people would listen to this conversation and say, "That's my guy. I want him to represent me"? Do you really believe that? Be honest.
I know that if you vote for a Democrat or Republican,
Not the
You're
end. Not you're deflecting. Okay, fair enough.
I said,
See,
I know that if
that's
you're
where you
if-
should. The hope is the
let me-
next
let
time
me-
you
let
have
me
a.
answer the question,
Go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
I know that if you vote for a Democrat or a Republican, you are still voting for the same call time donor captured system that Michael Steele created and the Democratic Party copied. That's what you're getting.
Well, the hope is the next time you have a debate like this, and somebody gives you the same question, your answer is going to be "fuck yeah." I'm confident in what I'm saying. I'm confident that the people that that are going to vote for me, they have a clear understanding of what I stand for. Not that you have no shot, bro. But do the feedback thing, and I look forward to hearing from you again. But I'm done. You could say whatever you want for the next minute.
No,
and
no, no.
then
I'm good.
done.
I'm good. Thanks.
All
Thanks
right.
for the exchange.
Well, this would be your time to get donations. Go to my website.
I'm running.
That's
I'm running
what I'm
on a.
saying. You're not good at this, bro.
I'm not running. I'm running on a zero donor, $0
Okay.
campaign.
There's some way they could help you, right? Whether it's how about the 250 signatures? Why not end it with that?
That's something that I have to do on the ground locally. So there's no
All right,
digital
very good.
solution for that.
Well, whenever you're asking people for their signature, I would not show them this video.
That wouldn't even be practical.
And well, okay, fair enough. I would work on your presentation to the people, to these people.
I'm not a career politician. I'm just a guy.
It shows.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. And once again, as much as I'm criticizing you, I do compliment the fuck out of you for running for office, and I could appreciate that about you. I don't think you're a bad dude. I'm willing to bet you're not. I just think you need to just get better.
Somebody in your live. They typed in, "What does he do for a living?" So you can find me on LinkedIn if you're curious. That's my professional bona fides.
So
All
what do you do?
documented.
Like what was your current or last job? Just in general, just be vague.
It's too geeky, right? It's not something that people are familiar with. So I'm a senior executive project program
Is there
manager.
more to that? Why did we, okay. Even a simple question bragging about what you do for your work?
I'm not bragging.
But why couldn't you just say that in a confident way? Whatever, it doesn't matter, bro. You're a good man. I appreciate you.
Listen,
Okay,
my speech
go ahead.
cadence is not a reflection of my skill
I'm
set.
not talking about the. Okay.
My
fair
speech
enough.
cadence is not a reflection of what I bring to the table. So if you're talking to me about my oratory skills, listen, that's not what that's not what I bring to the table. Okay.
But to get votes, you
I'm
have
a
to be
deeply
able to
analytical
convince
person.
the people.
I'm a
You have
deeply
to be
analytical
able to
person.
convince people to vote for you. But go ahead.
I have no problem with people who ask questions and are critical thinkers.
Really?
And are open minded. Yeah, I've actually
But you're not very good at answering questions.
I think I've answered all of your questions, but like I said, oratory and speech cadence are maybe not what you're expecting.
Okay. But don't you agree that you have to be able to deliver your message to the people in a confident way that, and you have to be able to keep their attention, right? Or am I wrong there?
The conversations I've had so far with New Jersey 12 constituents have been very engaging, and they're very. Remember, I have the Princeton University community in my district. So the conversations that I have there are people who are deeply skeptical of what Bonnie Watson Coleman has been doing after I tell them about HR
Yeah, but
415 and the Stop Act. They're
if
deeply skeptical about
if
that.
if I'm advising you, I would not allow people at Princeton, an Ivy League school, to ask you questions because a fucking moron on TikTok, me, gave you questions you had no clue how to respond.
I said I
So
answered
I'm
all of your questions.
oh
I
sure,
answered all of your. You need to go
sure,
back and listen to this yourself.
sure, and
I
when you
answered
put
all
this
your
on
questions.
when you sure when you put this on your website, just throw the question out there. How do you think I answered the questions? How do you think I handled this conversation? And you'll get feedback. I don't care. But if a moron like myself can
Don't call
twist you
yourself a
up like a
moron. You're not a
pretzel,
moron.
oh, sure. But regardless, I beg you, do not allow Princeton students
I've
to
already
ask
been
you
in that
anything ever.
area. Do you understand me? I've
Sure,
already been
you
there. I've already had
sure,
these conversations.
sure.
I've already
Show
given
me
you like a little summary of the engagement. And now you're
show
saying that I
show
should
me a
not do it.
video of you taking questions from Princeton students. Do you have one?
I don't have any video of me engaging with anybody in
Well,
NBA 12.
okay. Okay. Well, there you go. That's another problem. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I want to end on a high note, but you're making it very difficult because we keep circling back to it. You're a good man. I appreciate you. Final word to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me up.
All right, brother. Be good.
Yep, take care. Bye.
All right. I mean, I don't know what to say. Would you rather have that dude or Mom Donnie in New York City? Moron. Once again, anybody that has the courage to run for office should be complimented. And I appreciate that about him. His answers, whatever. All right, I'm done with this live. I will talk to you guys. The guy is not a moron. No, I'm not. No. I think, oh, sure. Let's end on a high note. No problem. Dapper. It is what it is. All right, I'll be back later on, 1 a.m. Make sure you follow me. I appreciate you all. Love you all. And I'll talk to you guys later on.